Hello Internet, Seth Skorkowski, and today we're going to do something a little bit special. We're going to do an actual play. A few weeks back, the guys from the Glass Cannon Network reached out to me and asked if I'd like to play a little Call of Cthulhu with them, to which I responded, hell yes. So we got together, we had a game, had a lot of fun, and a ton of laughs. The scenario is the modern-day adventure Intimate Encounters by Oscar Rios, appearing in 2016's The Things We Leave Behind, a collection of mature Call of Cthulhu adventures from Stygian Fox. We're doing this one over 2 episodes, and this is the first one. The next one will release in a week or so on Glass Cannon's Twitch channel, and then will later come to YouTube. So a huge thank you to Glass Cannon, not only for a very fun game, but offering to let me host our recorded sessions. I do have links down in the video description below for their Twitch and their YouTube channels. You should totally subscribe to them, let them know that I sent you, and maybe, just maybe, they'll invite me back again in the future. Anyway, keep an eye out in the next week or so for part 2, but for now, on with the show.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Troy Lavallee, and we have a very special night planned for this evening where we're going to be playing some modern Call of Cthulhu 7th edition. Not the 1920s, the 2022s, or whatever year it is. I sometimes have to Google it because I forget what year it is. One of the things we like to do from time to time, and something I hope we can do more of as we continue to grow, is find cool people who are out there in the industry doing what we do and play games with them. We do so many long form shows, we never get to just meet someone and be like, hey, come do 1 or 2 episodes with us. It's usually like, come do 70 episodes with us. And that's untenable when people are busy.
We're long-term commitment kind of people. We don't date casually.
Yeah, like Howard Stern.
But we want to do more of it because there's just so many people we want to play with. We want to find a way to do more short form stuff. It gives a chance for us to introduce people to our audience and then to be exposed to other people's audiences who may not know what we do. So tonight, we are joined by one such special guest. He is an author, a game master. He is an Emmy Award winner for best online content. And he has one of the best YouTube channels out there for what goes on in our industry with tabletop reviews, philosophy, gaming philosophy, GM tips, you name it. Please give it up for Mr. Seth Skorkowski. Seth!
Thank you.
Seth, tell me everything about you. Where did you grow up? How long have you been gaming? Why did you decide to play with us? You can save the last one.
I grew up in East Texas, and at the time I thought that D&D was illegal, thank you to the Satanic Panic. So shortly before my 13th birthday, in that little magazine in your homeroom class, there was an ad. It's like, it's back. And it was the D&D box set. And I remember rushing to my friend Aaron Bush, like, they made D&D legal again. So for my 13th birthday, I got the box set for Dungeons and Dragons, which had this like little, like, you GM yourself through it little adventure. And shortly after that, I found one of my friend's dads, was running. Well, he wasn't my friend, but he became my friend very damn quickly. And so I started playing it at 13, and that was kind of all she wrote, and just grew and grew and grew. And then you guys hit me up. It was like, hey, would you like to play us at a GM? And I was like, hell yes. So that is why I'm here.
Do you get to play at all anymore, or do you just GM?
What are we doing here? I've gotten to play a lot more recently, thanks to like online groups and that sort of thing. So that's been freaking awesome because I got to play with like a lot of the authors or a lot of like other people in the community from around the world. So that's been great. So basically, once the pandemic started, I started getting to play again. So silver linings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you the same thing. What got you into making the videos that you make? Because you've got a pretty robust YouTube channel that you cover everything on there. Like one day where you're like, you know what? I'm going to start making videos. Like, how did that come about?
When my first novel came out, I was informed that I just had to make a YouTube channel because YouTube's the second largest search engine. I was like, I don't know what the hell to make a channel about. So I sat on that for a couple of years, and then I got to the point I was able to quit my day job, and I just had like a buttload of time on my hand. And I had a really terrible game. Like I had one of those epically bad games. Like I had to let go of a player that I'd played with for 8 years. Bad game. And I was depressed. So in order to kind of articulate my thoughts, I basically set up a camera, terrible camera. I tried to use the audio aboard that terrible camera, and it was even worse. And didn't know how to edit, and I just did a video called The RPG Social Contract, and I posted that on YouTube, and it was awful. But that at least started, it's like after that, every week I started doing it, and slowly I learned like maybe I should buy a microphone and maybe I should learn how to edit. And it just kind of spiraled into, what it is now. So it was like, I need somebody with me. Well, everybody's at work. I'll just make up an imaginary friend and talk to him. So it's just.
Isn't that funny? How many games are you in right now? Are you in a weekly? You got a bunch that you're running, and what's your normal gaming schedule like?
Our set game is we do once a month, and right now the primary game we're doing is Pulp Cthulhu, and when we play, it's like an epic all-day event. So it's like we come to my house at noon. This is actually where I sit when I GM, and so it's not like a set. It's like I'm in my game room. And we play till like 11ish with like a little bit of lunch in there.
Wow.
And that's just because with when after we got out of college and started getting real jobs and everybody got married and had kids and all that, we couldn't do the weekly thing anymore. So it was like, we're just going to do one day, marathon it. And, that's what we do. But then we've got side games that we'll do online during the week. Right now we're doing Cult, and my buddy's playing running us through a little bit of Cyberpunk Red.
Oh,
and
nice.
then whenever schedules align, I've got a few other like little gigs that I'll do, like How We Roll Podcast. We're doing a Call of Cthulhu game, but it might be 3 months between when we play. So I don't know if that counts.
Now, for that 11-hour session, do you guys record it all and make sure you're on for 11 hours straight and then distribute it as 11-hour podcasts to the world? Or do you just have fun?
Yeah, we're unanimous that we will never record because this is our day as a bunch of old friends just to get together and just be a bunch of dumbasses. And, like we're not worried about what's going on outside the room. And that kind of allows us to really let our hair down. Because if you have a mic in the room, you do become self-conscious about different things you say, or you kind of feel like a need to perform for it. And we want no obligation other than just us being a bunch of old friends. Two of them I played with for 20 years. Like this is our time just to be dumbasses like we were in college. So that's great. It's our day.
Yeah, and we, it's hard for us because recording so much of what we play, we never are dumbasses ever anymore. Everything that we do is just so sharp and on point. And I'd like to get back to those days of playing poorly, of having inefficient characters, but the good old days.
See, Seth, since you probably don't know Joe's sense of humor, that's all we do is not play like dumbasses and not know the rules.
Yeah.
But this is a perfect segue into these three dumbasses here who will be joining us. Joe, Skid, and Matthew, also from the Glass Cannon Network. Matthew, I know, and Joe, you were in the first Cthulhu game that I ran, and Skid, you've played similar games on the network. I'm gearing up to run Masks of Nyarlathotep soon, and so this is just another excuse to play Cthulhu, because I think it is the greatest role-playing game. And I thought, once I knew that Seth wanted to play with us, I thought, let's do modern. Let's try modern. I think it's an easier jumping in point. I think people get worried sometimes about 1920s speak. This is modern as gets. I'm going to set it in right now, 2022, New York City. Maybe I'll regret that later when you guys make decisions that would never fly in today's society. Do you guys have any questions before we jump in? You've obviously made characters. We had some amazing artwork of these characters made, so I want to talk about them in a second and show the artwork. But any general questions about why we've gathered here today?
I do want to say real quick that I'm a big fan of Seth's, and I've been watching his videos for a while. So it's very exciting to actually say something to him and have him respond. That was very weird. that was awesome. So I'm really glad he's here. This is he's really good at what he does.
Yes, Seth, when we dipped our toes into the waters of Traveler, Skid said you should watch Seth's videos to pick a module, and I did, and that was how we got there, and here we are.
Yeah, that was a long time. That was a year ago, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Skid, it's like receiving a reply to all of your YouTube comments in person.
That's real. Yeah, that's exactly.
Seth has been studiously ignoring those for years.
Who's sexy guy 14? Why does he like all my videos? Joe, what do you got?
I guess the only question that I have is I pulled a character sheet off of the Chaosium website, which I would assume makes it official. All of the skills are the same in Modern Cthulhu versus whatever you would call it, Classic Cthulhu, because I think the skills are all the same, right? Obviously, they could be interpreted slightly differently, but the actual skill names, there's no new skills in Modern that we're supposed to be.
I think
computer
use is on there.
Electronics.
Okay, so this is on the sheet.
New.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have the Investigator's Handbook and you just flip back and forth between the two sheets, you'll see there are a couple differences, computer use and electrical repair. Drive auto is actually no, they both have drive auto.
They had cars.
They had cars in the 1920s.
Yeah, what are you talking about? You moke? You cranked them.
Drive Flintstone vehicle.
You don't remember us being rampant car thieves in our session?
Well, this one's very different. I'm running I don't want to talk about the scenario until we're all done, but I'm running something that's out of a pretty well-known a collection of modern scenarios. And I thought in the interest of, making sure that we finish this in 2 sessions, I had you all create characters that are working for I thought I'd say a tabloid, like a local tabloid or something like that. So you all work together and you've all created characters that are somehow related to jobs that you would have if you worked for the National Enquirer or Inside Edition or something like that. So let's talk about these characters. Joe, who do you play and what role do you have? What is your occupation?
I'm so excited. I just love this idea. I also have to say that it started off with Troy and then it got specified by Seth over email into something that I was like, that is so much better. Because I was initially just picturing writers and reporters, but Seth was like, well, this is modern era, so we could go with, a team that shoots content from the field. So, talent and et cetera, and cameraman, whatever. And I was like, okay, so then I took that, and then that's where this idea comes from. So I will be playing Remy Gunnarsson, who is a young up-and-coming field producer for the network, I guess, that we work for. Troy, do we work for an actual TV network, or is it a print magazine that has online content? Is it like a YouTube channel?
Totally up to you guys. We'll talk about your office, and you can decide what the name of your dirt rag is after we introduce the characters.
Okay, sounds good. So my guy is 27 years old. This is one of his first times actually out producing in the field. So I think technically he's kind of in charge, but it's also one of the first times he's not an assistant producer, but actually producing on his own. So he's I have him on the Cthulhu rules as an editor. That's what I did with his template, his skill template. So he's got a little bit of history, a little bit of law, a little bit of persuade, a little bit of charm. And then, he takes these stories that we put together and then he presents the final product to the network or his bosses or whomever. So, he's tall, slim, blonde, young, with a hipster mustache. So a clean cut, very clean cut, and excited for this opportunity to produce his own content for the first time.
It's hard to pick a favorite from Will Portorf's art that he did for this, but yours is right up there. He looks like a real douche.
He really does. It's uncanny.
Oh God! I mean, it's just I just love it. I'm so excited.
Matthew, tell us about your guy.
So I am playing Dylan Moorhead, the intern. Dylan is currently a junior at SUNY Oswego and takes the train down to New York for his internship when he's not in class allows. And he is 21 years old, and he doesn't give two shits about what any of you are doing.
Okay. Oh, God. Old Dylan Moorhead. Seth, tell us about your guy.
See, I'm Chuck Freeman. I am the camera operator. Originally from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm 33 years old. Started losing my hair when I was young, so I shave it, and I try to make up for it with a glorious, ridiculous mustache. I'm a bit of a technophile, so what that means is I have every stupid gadget, gizmo, and doodad that you could possibly attach to a camera. I have my special cargo anti-rip, anti-stain pants that I wear. My pockets are bulging with cables and tape and adapters and extra batteries and every little thing I can do. My camera probably looks just like some sort of bizarre phallic machine with all sorts of microphones and lap meters hanging off the end of it. If it is kind of useless, I probably own two of them. And if it's overpriced, oh my God, I got that. So that is so I've got the full rig. Everything. If you would like to have me lower my movement, that is fine.
I feel like your character art from the neck up would still work in the 1920s.
It totally would.
And finally, Skid, tell us about your guy.
So my guy's name is Russell Goldwater. He is the on-air talent, so they say. He used to work, he was an anchor at CNBC, but he got drunk on air and was fired. So he washed up onto the lowest rung of news business. And so he's sort of made a new career for himself by desperately fashioning himself as like a conspiracy theorist. I can't think of any real life examples of this, but you'll just have to imagine it. But he's in his late 40s. He's heavy set. He's got like slick back hair and a ponytail and a big beard.
I helped Skid build the mechanics a little bit, and I was trying to find like what would on-air talent be, and then I thought more about what you had come up with, and I used zealot. So it's the skills for the zealot. All right, great. So going back to your question, Joe, what kind of, is this are they print forward? Are they, do they just post YouTube videos? Are they, do they have a show on cable? What kind of rag is this?
I want to go internet. I think I like internet, like YouTubers, but part of a larger organization. So I like that they're one team out there, but they're part of a large tabloidy network that posts scandalous videos, like you said, conspiracy videos, all clickbait, all stuff just to get people to watch. But I mean, I also think that Remy likes to get, some hard news in there. He has like a hope that he's working his way towards actually doing hard news, but he also has to do what sells. So it's balancing that.
I like that. What do you think this is called?
The daily flugelhorn.
The daily flugelhorn?
It's not a bugle. It's sort of like a bugle.
TDF.
TDF for short. It's like,
Yeah.
what does it stand for? It's like I don't really know, but that's what it stands for.
YouTube.com/TDF.
Yeah,
But
TDF.
Is that
inside
our network or what our show on the network is?
Oh, good question.
Question.
I guess that's our show.
Okay, that'll be our show.
Daily flugelhorn.
So what's the network then?
The Two Americas News Network.
Hell yeah. We're reporting on the real America.
That's right.
Real of it.
Anything the lamestream media doesn't want you to know, this is where you come.
All right, so the Two Americas News Network, and your flagship show is the Daily Flugelhorn, a daily YouTube show.
And let's not forget the abbreviations again. So we're TDF, but we're on TAN.
You're on TAN, right?
TDF on 10.
TDF on TAN. Oh my God, amazing.
Yeah, the logo is like two American flags, but one's upside down.
And bleeding. The stripes are bleeding. Well, to kick things off, for the last couple of weeks, you have been publishing these videos, and maybe there's a blog that goes along with it. I don't know. That's up to you guys. But there is a apparent serial killer in New York that has been dubbed the Lipo Killer by the news media and journalists such as yourselves. 3 bodies have turned up dead in the past 2 weeks. And the reason people are thinking that it's a serial killer is that all of the victims were found with their body fat completely drained from their body. So let's say you've been following the story since the second body was found. And then shortly thereafter, the connection between the 2 deaths was made public. It is now September 30th, New York City. I would imagine a reputable news outlet such as yourselves has procured a police radio that's constantly spewing minor infractions, petty crimes. We've got 505 down on Lexington and 44th Street.
So the radio operator is playing the old Cthulhu.
Right, yes.
The dispatcher.
It's a...
Tommy, why do you keep talking like that?
Sorry, my father was a newsman and I'm a dispatcher.
Put me in front of a microphone and this is how I sound.
Flash. Give me KL42. You hear a report come through that a body was discovered, another possible homicide at the New York Inn. It's a shitty little hotel on 8th Avenue between 46th and 47th Street. And the dispatcher, the 1920s dispatcher, let slip that the body is victims, like fat, seems to have been removed as well. So you know this has to be another victim of this possible serial killer. Where do you think your office is located?
In somebody's apartment.
That or in, you know,
Like Hell's Kitchen somewhere, probably.
yeah, like Hell's Kitchen, but like an office share. So it's like one small side of this office, but it's also shared with other ridiculous businesses.
Yeah. Like
but yeah,
way west side, like 11th Avenue. Like
Yeah. Okay. So it's only a few blocks away. We could say we're on like 46th and 11th, right?
Yeah.
We're like all the way over by the Lincoln Tunnel or something, and over the top of the Lincoln Tunnel.
Yeah.
And
Maybe even in the Lincoln Tunnel.
in the Lincoln Tunnel. You know those doors in the Lincoln Tunnel?
Yeah, we
Go through that.
That's where
Those
they
are
live.
office space available for rent.
Seth, how familiar are you with New York geography?
Not really. If movies have taught me anything,
We'll be sure to do lots of inside jokes about subway stops. All right, so if you're at 11th and like 48th or whatever, you're only a few avenues away. This is a 10-minute walk tops.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, it's that from Russ's perspective, I think he would love to find. This is in his wheelhouse anyway for what he's doing right now, but he would love to find an actual news story to like do some breaking news, something to get him back on top, where he's not doing this ridiculous crap anymore. So I think he is desperate to get there first.
And I think that Remy has the same exact motivation. So I imagine it opening it up with this, we're all kind of like in cubes or whatever, and Remy sees this thing, maybe even Russell sees it at the same time, or hears it, right? Maybe we're just like tooling around.
We're sitting around the cubicle.
We're crushing up piece of paper and trying to make it into the wastebasket. Seeing who gets the most.
Like you're doing that, like Russell's like throwing pencils like up into the drop ceiling.
Did you say it was September 30th?
September 30th, yep.
September 30th. All right. So Remy hears it and he snaps up fast. And he's just like, do you hear that, Russell?
Oh.
Did they say 8th and 42nd?
That's right. That's right by here.
46th. That's even closer.
Oh my God.
He gets up. Dylan! He looks at Dylan's seat. It's always empty. He's never in a seat. He doesn't know what this kid does. Where is it?
You see him just kind of standing somewhere like in the middle of the floor, like he was walking somewhere and then forgot where he was going. Just on his phone. Just like,
doing Wordle.
Oh, what?
Dylan, can you find Chuck, please? We got to go right now if we want to be the first on the scene. It's just a couple blocks down. Come on, hurry up.
Oh, sure thing. And then he goes back to his phone.
Dylan!
What?
Get Chuck, please.
Oh, like now?
Like, yes! And Remy's going into his desk and he's like pulling out a pad and a pencil and he's getting out his cell phone.
Dylan looks around.
Yesterday, Dylan!
Whoa, Chuck? Chuck, are you here?
Oh, for God's sakes, it's not helping.
Chuck. I can't find him, man.
All right, so Seth, where is Chuck? If he's not in the immediate area, where is he right now?
Oh, Chuck's got his headphones on. He's searching eBay for different equipment, like possibly like some used Steadicams.
Oh, never mind, Dylan. He's over here. He's at his desk. And
he's in the next cubicle over.
Yeah, he's in the next cubicle, but he just didn't hear us yelling.
Just got Ram Jam just blasted in my headphones.
Remy leans over, waves in front of your face, between your face and the screen.
Yeah, boss.
We got a murder just a couple blocks down. Grab your stuff. We're gonna get Russ on camera as soon as possible. We want this up within the hour on YouTube. Let's go.
Okay. I'm gonna start putting on my battle rattle.
All right, then I think we clear out and start going just on foot. I mean, it's 3 avenues, so.
Yeah, we're like speed walking, like down 46th Street or whatever.
Dylan is consistently a half block behind.
Right.
Well, since we're such a reputable news source, do we ever send out like misleading information, like, oh, it was at, and then you put the wrong damn address?
Like tweet out about it.
Yeah. Like, do we do anything to like keep the mainstream media away from it before, that way we get there first?
That's a good idea.
Dirty, underhanded tricks. I mean, yeah, that's the business. Yeah, let's do it. I don't know who's got the Twitter account though. Is it Russ? Does he have like the most active followers on Twitter? That like, is he the one that?
Yeah.
I'm studying for my BA in communications. So I just think maybe that'd be the best use of my skills.
Dylan, why don't you cover the Insta? You do the Insta, all right?
Got it.
God damn this kid. and so Russ is like he always tweets in all caps. And he's just like, another murder. Upper East Side. And like he gives the same number address, but like on the East Side.
On the East Side.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what's the password to our Insta?
Use your own. Use your own. You have more followers than we do on Insta.
I don't know. It doesn't really fit my brand.
I don't care. God damn this kid.
All right, that's an interesting tactic. So I'll say that is enough to divert some of the media. Maybe as you're going there, you see like the vans for NBC and CBS Local caught in traffic because they're not just hoofing it 3 avenues, but like your New York one, your other, they might be heading to the East Side. So this should give you a little bit of a leg up. When you arrive, though, you see that the NYPD has already secured the exterior of the building. You probably know all the major players in the precinct. If your office is located in this area, you've probably had run-ins with the local cops. So you see, right when you get there, a well-known detective. His name is Detective Andrew Nickham. He's a 20-year veteran of the force, and he's standing alone by himself behind the yellow tape. There's a couple of other officers milling about, but he's the only plainclothes that you can see. And you know that he's leading the investigation as well because you've seen him on TV give interviews about the first few murders. Does anybody have points in psychology?
Yes, Remy does.
Anybody else?
No, I just have the baseline.
Okay.
Oh, I do too, yeah.
All right, everybody give me a psychology roll. And if you just have the base, you just got to roll under it.
Dylan slept through most of his psychology 101 class, so he fails.
Remy rolls a 77 over 50.
Oh no. Oh no.
I got a 64 out of 46. My dice are dyslexic, so no, I was looking at my eyepiece.
64. All right. So, and Skid, what did you roll?
I got a 28 under 50.
Okay.
Oh.
So that's a success. You know that Detective Nickham is near the end of his career. He comes off pretty world-weary in general and appears inwardly overwhelmed by the strangeness of this case, the removing of the body fat. You've seen him in interviews on TV, and almost he seems exasperated and maybe a little bit hopeless as well. And now that you see him in person, he's radiating that energy. He just looks really stressed out. You see he is about to finish smoking a cigarette, and he uses the lit butt to light the next smoke. He's just chain smoking. The police have been pretty tight-lipped about the finer details of the murders, and since no media has had any access to the crime scenes, no one really knows what the police are holding back, if anything. You just know that they seem stymied, and the public has limited knowledge. But now there's another body, and it's probably connected. Give me a spot hidden, everybody.
Okay, then I got 2 questions once we got this.
Yeah.
One, I would like to get some B-roll footage of the detective, the world-weary detective smoking, and all the establishing shots.
Gotta get that B-roll.
Oh, that's so good.
Such a pro.
Yeah.
In
Setting
my
the emotional scene.
assortment of just stupid video shit, do I happen to have a drone to see through a window?
Wow. I like this.
This is great. This is the stuff we would never think of. This is why we have to have actual, professional gamers on our show.
Yeah, part of me feels like that would be maybe a roll. Is it credit rating? What do you think, Seth? If it was flipped, does that sound like a credit rating type roll to see if you would have bought that new gear recently?
Yeah, we could do credit, credit or luck if I even have it on me. Because it was such a last second hustle.
Let's do luck. I like that. That's better than credit rating because credit rating is more whether or not you can afford it. You've already established that you're sitting there on your breaks just staring at eBay. You have one of these. Did you bring it with you?
Let's see. I got a hard spot earlier. Oh God! Don't tip. I got an. It spilled.
Oh no!
There's no proof now.
It's yes, I got my lock.
So you got a critical. All right. Yes.
Pulling the styrofoam off of it.
Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so with a critical, not only do you have it, but as you're shooting the B-roll, you see a perfect area where you could let this drone go and no one would see you.
Yeah.
Like a little alleyway just past the area that's taped off and no one is blocking it. You could go over there, release this drone, and no one would see it.
Awesome.
Okay. I'm gonna let Remy know and Russ know.
Okay.
This is what I'm gonna try to do, and see if they can get us inside. But in the meantime, I'm gonna try to see if I can, get that up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Remy looks back at the two vans, like still in traffic a little ways away. He's like, good idea. Good idea.
Hey, Remy.
Yes, Dylan.
I've been thinking, and I have an idea. I have an idea of how we could get in there.
Yes, Dylan.
So, if you were to give me the company credit card, I could go get a room for the night, and then we could just go in there like normal guests, right? They'd have to let us in because we're paying customers.
Well, maybe they could let us into the hotel, but it doesn't mean that they would let us anywhere near the crime scene. Even guests are going to be cordoned off and have to stay really far away from there. But Dylan, I really appreciate the forward thinking, I gotta say. But hold off on that for a second. Let's see if. Hold on a second, Dylan.
Here's the thing. I don't really
Dylan.
have the cash to get back on the train up to school tonight. So it'd just be really clutch to also have a room.
Dylan, let me ask you this. And he grabs him by the shoulders. How comfortable are you posing as a police detective?
I mean, my third favorite show is Law and Order SVU, not SUV.
Already sold me. Let's keep that one in the pocket.
That's police talk if I've ever heard it.
That's classic police lingo.
What do you want me to? Will you want me to be like a I'm a good cop, man, guy?
I don't know. We don't want to stretch your acting chops too far, saying that you're a good cop.
Okay, I'm a bad cop then, right?
You're the worst cop I've ever seen.
Meanwhile, Dylan is dressed in some baggy jeans and a ratty old hoodie that is based on the character art is for the wrong school because Troy wouldn't let any information go.
Or as I like to imagine it, his older sister went to San Francisco State.
There we go.
He wears his older sister's hoodie.
I stole it from her bedroom when she left for school.
What were the results of everyone's spot hidden roll?
I failed.
Failed.
Dylan succeeded. Regular success.
Hard success.
Hard success.
And a hard success for Remy.
Okay. So those of you succeeded all notice that the coroner hasn't arrived yet.
Ah.
Okay. There's a lot of traffic right now, and the coroner hasn't arrived, so there's a good chance the body is still up there. Okay. So yeah, those are you've got Detective Nickham. You see the NBC CBS logo, they're starting to get closer. If you're checking Twitter, you see that New York 1 has already posted. There's a bit of mistake. It's actually on the west side, so other people are going to be here, soonish. But you do have a leg up where your office was conveniently close to the scene of the crime.
Well, let's at least just let's at least just get a few seconds, Russ, of you right out front of the building. Let's get Andy in the background there, and just get a shot of you saying that the crime is here, and we're trying to understand what's happening in the building. Okay, can we get that, Chuck? Can we shoot that, Chuck?
Is Chuck still here?
Oh no, Chuck's getting the drone shot.
Oh, but I thought he was just like letting it go.
Boss, I got you.
All right. Make sure. Do you need to shoot it vertical? Because remember last time you said that it was wide, but then it only played vertical in the wide shot.
My favorite director, Kenneth Branagh, likes to do Dutch angles. So
I don't want any Dutch angles, Dylan, for the last time. And I don't want to see myself in portrait mode. I swear to God, I will murder you out here in the street if I see myself in portrait mode.
Okay.
Remy moves around behind him and is checking the shot. And he looks at you, Russ, and he's like, "It looks good, Russ. It looks good. Go." Right. When you're ready.
A murder has struck again here on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. Police are baffled as to the origins of this possibly alien killer. More coming up.
The camera's shaking as the intern is laughing.
Possibly alien killer.
Stay tuned to DFN and TANN for more updates as this case progresses.
And kill it.
All right, that was off the top of my head. I don't know.
I don't know where the alien thing came from, but it's fine. It'll play.
I think
it's
that's
good.
an angle that can play, right?
Yeah, I think it's an angle that can play. Now let's see if we can get in this building. And he's looking around for Chuck. Has Chuck made any progress on the drone?
Yeah, Chuck, so you've ducked down this alleyway. No one has followed you in there. What do you do?
Well, I'm just gonna pull out my little drone. I'm assuming it's probably linked through my iPad. Make sure all my cameras and everything are working. We need to find out where in the building it is. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to search window to window. Can I see any windows that maybe police are looking outside of or standing in front of, or there's any activity around them, like flashes of crime scene cameras? I don't know. Is there anything I can do?
Yeah, if you
probably
look
know
up...
the floor. You know the floor it was on, just from the address, probably.
It's a 6th floor little inn, little Roach Motel. And if you look up, you don't see any flash bulbs coming from the front of the building, but where you are on the alleyway, there's a fire escape over a chain link fence that leads up, and there's windows all the way up to the top of the building. So give me a spot hidden to see if you see anything that would kind of lead you to believe, that's where the murder took place.
Hell yeah. I got a regular success.
Yeah.
Regular success? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll say you look up and you're just staring, watching these windows for any sign of something. And with a regular success, you see on the hallway of the 5th floor, a couple of police officers walking around. So you know that it's somewhere on the 5th floor.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to send little Bessie up there and see what she can find.
I had a drone once, and they're very hard to maneuver. And so I was standing on the roof of my old apartment building when I lived in the city, and I was just like very gently tapping it, and it just goes like a mile away. And it landed in some dude's like back patio. And so I waited until someone left that building, and then I snuck in, pretended like I lived there, triangulated where he lived. Basically what you're trying to do. Knocked on the door. I was like, hey, so sorry, my drone landed in your backyard. He's like, where do you live? I was like, 2 counties over. And he's like, oh, I threw that in the trash compactor in our building.
Oh, no.
And it's like, it just happened like 10 minutes ago. Okay. Nice. But anyways, you zip it up there. And so how does this work? You can kind of like see on your...
Hold on.
On an iPad?
What were you trying to do?
I was just trying to learn how to fly it, but they're very sensitive controls. If you just go like boop the wrong way, it just takes off and you can't like turn it around.
Well, I think a lot of people try to learn how to fly a drone on the ground in like a park.
Yeah, I was
not on the top of a building in an incredibly crowded urban center.
I didn't want to walk to the park.
What's the point of having a drone if I have to walk places?
That's right. The drone does my locomotion for me now. In any case, this sounds like a pretty good plan, Seth. I think you should just land the drone in the hotel, in the crime scene, and then we just come and say, we need to get our drone back.
We need to get our drone. And then the cops will be like, it's in the trash compactor. Now, how does this work? Do you have like an iPad or some sort of video screen where you can see through the eyes of the drone?
Yeah, I figured it was like a little iPad, like on my rig.
Okay. All right, so you zip it up to the 5th floor, and you have much better control than I do, and you're scanning along the rooms, and you see the crime scene.
Ooh.
And you know it's the crime scene because the door is ajar, there's yellow tape on it, and you see some people walking around outside. Officers, most likely the same officers you saw from the hallway window. They are not inside of the room now. It looks like what you would expect of a seedy motel room. There's a single bed, a nightstand, a television, and a bathroom. And you're just scanning around trying to find something. And then you see on the floor is a body in horrible, horrible condition. Unlike any body you've seen before, unless you've seen photos from the previous crime scenes, which have not been released to the public. The woman, the victim, her skin just feels like it's almost in piles next to the body, hanging off of her, as all the fat has been removed. One can guess her age to be about 30, and you can see from the view screen that the clothes that do remain clinging to her body are rather provocative.
Sexy. Okay. I'm going to get as much of this as possible.
Yeah, this is our bread and butter right here.
Okay.
This drone just paid for itself.
He says out loud to himself in the alley, drone just paid for itself.
So sensitive.
I could just see it too, like the readout on his phone. He's like, yes.
So if
Hey,
you
dude.
if you keep scanning to try and take some time here, you see a couple things. You see all around the room are tiny circular holes on the floor. Almost similar to like a scorch mark, but without any sign of ash or charring. They look like they're on the carpet, the bedspread, the ceiling tiles, even portions of the wallpaper. And as you're scanning in close, you see the face of the victim, and it just looks like completely melted.
Oh.
Because of the loss of fat, and it's jarring enough as you're looking to provoke a sanity roll.
Oh.
Oh, hell no. Let's see. 86. My stand's
Oh,
normal
no.
50. So
86 is, in our other game, is the worst possible result.
Oh, wow.
But for you, it is going to be 1d6 sanity loss.
Wow.
Now, if I roll a 5 or a 6 here,
okay,
I didn't,
I'll let you roll
thankfully.
it.
You take 2 points of sanity loss.
Oof.
By this, and it really takes you out of it for a moment. You've seen dead bodies before, especially in this profession. Nothing like this. And the only other thing of interest are all these holes all over the floor, ceiling, bedspread.
They look random? Is there any like pattern, like stripes or?
Give me an idea
Grid.
roll.
58 out of 60, so regular.
Regular success. There's no discerning pattern necessarily, but it does look like all of the marks radiated out from a central spot about 2 feet in front of where the victim was standing before she fell, unless she was placed there. But if looking at her position, if she was standing there and then fell there, about 2 feet away is where that, whatever that was, dispersed.
Okay. I'm going to try to get as much as I can, and then try to get my little Bessie out of there.
All right, so you bring her down easy, still a little shook from the face of the deceased. What's everybody else doing? By now, NBC and CBS have rolled up, but the coroner still isn't there.
Remy wants to get in the building. He wants to try to get close to that room. And he's like, God damn it, where is Chuck? I need that we need his camera up there. We can't have Dylan shooting it if we get in there. Come on. And he'll walk back toward the alley where Chuck was, where he last saw him, thinking we have our out front shot. And I'll tell you what he's thinking. I'll just talk to Russ. He'll be like, as we're walking, he's like, there's got to be another way into the building. Maybe they don't have all the exits manned yet. Maybe there's a kitchen trash door or something like that we can get in through.
A back way in.
Let's walk. Let's circle the building.
Yeah, let's go.
So we're going to get out of there and let the other news crews do their thing outside. But basically, I want to try to find my way to the alley where Chuck is, connect with Chuck, and then see if we can circle the building for like the dumpster or something like that and go in through the kitchens or the trash room or the freight elevator or something like that and kind of come up on the police from another angle.
Okay. This is going to require some sort of a stealth roll. You can either do a group stealth roll, which is the person with the worst stealth rolls, or the one with the best stealth rolls, and if you succeed, can kind of call everybody over, and hopefully everything will be fine. Okay. But those are pretty much your options if you want to sneak. Chuck was able to get in there, no problem, but if you all want to start piling in, the cops are going to get suspicious.
All right, my stealth is 40.
My stealth is 20.
Mine is 20 as well.
46.
I guess I'm just curious why stealth is coming up. Like, if we're just trying to leave the area where the police are and go away, what do we need stealth at the moment for?
Because if you're going to be climbing on dumpsters, trying to climb past windows and stuff, I want to see if you're going to attract any of the people in these rooms.
And I'll tell you what, I don't want to do that. My intention, if there's no...
You don't want to attract the people that are saying that?
No, I don't want to climb the building. Like, what I'm talking about here is, if the police have not yet gotten to... There must be another entrance or exit to this building that is a back way, right? So what I'm thinking is more like, Remy probably rolls around with an expense level, like an expense account level of cash for like bribes and stuff. And I'm thinking if he could just pay like a kitchen worker or a freight elevator worker to give us access to the building through one of those doors, maybe like a persuade roll or something, then, you know, we could get in that way. So I'll just give you where my head's at.
I see. Okay, I thought you were trying to climb up the building, but you're looking for like a staff entrance or a back entrance like that.
Yeah, back entrance. Like I'm picturing the alley where Chuck is like, you know, usually there's a door back there for loading and unloading or for just access to the dumpster, you know what I mean? And it's locked from the outside. You can't get in. You can only open it from the inside. But if we could bang on that, get an employee to open the door and then pay him off for access.
Okay, so is that what you want to do? You want to sneak down the alley and just bang on the first door you come to?
If it's attached to the hotel.
Yeah.
No,
it's the building next door.
The building next door.
Do you know how to get in here? All right, so you guys all roll into the alley that Chuck was in. He catches you up on everything that he saw, and then you just...
bang, 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 bang. And it's one of those heavy aluminum doors. Yeah. Bang, 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 bang.
After a minute, the door opens, and this heavyset guy, wearing just a white tank top, and it's all soiled, jeans, combat boots. It's like, what?
This sounds like one of our fans for sure.
Yes,
This is definitely a Two American News Network subscriber.
Hi, I'm so sorry to bother you. I know you're extremely busy.
What do you want?
Sorry, my name is. What's my name? Remy Gunnarsson, and I'm with Two American News Network, and we are trying to get access to the hotel to tell a very important story about a murder that's happened, and the police are really giving us a hard time, and I wondered if there was any other ways to get up to the 5th floor as he's pulling out his wallet, and it's just like pulling out cash, like not subtly at all, and it's just like, it would be a huge help for us if we could get up there and take a look at what's going on.
So the guy sees the wallet. He understands what's going on here, but he looks over his shoulder and realizes this is going to be a little tricky. Give me a fast talk roll.
Okay. Can I do persuade?
You can do persuade.
Okay.
If you want, yeah.
All right. 96. Which is not a fumble because I have such a high persuade, but
Yeah.
still a fail.
Yeah, the guy's like, no, man, I can't let you in. Keep your money. There's cops roaming all over the place. I can't do it.
Hey. Sorry. My name's Russ. I'm Russ Goldwater. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah. Hey. Do you know my work? You're familiar with the kind of stuff I do? Like takes his sunglasses down.
No.
You're familiar with the Two America's News Network?
No, man, I don't have a TV.
Well, here, let me tell you something. This is pertinent to the kind of thing that we do. We're here to expose the kind of lies and deceptions that are put out there by the government, by the mainstream media, by the kind of people that don't want you, people like you and people like me, heavy-set guys mostly, to know what's going on. Now, we're here to uncover the real truth. Because you know as well as anybody, am I right, that the cops are going to lie, they're going to lie to the mayor's office, and they're going to put out some nonsense, and then you and your family are going to be more endangered than ever. All because no one wants to take responsibility. Now, I'm here to hold people responsible. If you let us in here, we might be able to get the real truth out there. You'd be a real friend to both Americans.
Be a real friend to both Americans.
To both Americans.
Guy's like, listen, I don't know who you are, but I believe everything you say. Problem is, if I let you in, I'm gonna lose my job. So, you gotta make it worth my while.
Listen, friend. Do you have any experience holding a camera?
Well, my girlfriend and I, the other night. Not really.
Listen, my friend, we are an up-and-coming double national news network. Now, I think that for this kind of favor, we might be able to find a line for you, if you know what I'm saying.
I don't, but you've confused me enough. All right, man, I'll let you in, but once you get in, you're on your own. If you get arrested, you don't know me, you never saw me.
And hey, you don't know me either, all right?
I still don't know you.
Well, that's true. You established you don't know me, all right. All right, perfect. This all works out.
No one knows each other.
All right. I don't even want to ask your name.
It's best if you don't.
What is it, though? What is your name, though?
Richard Montgomery. Richard Montgomery.
Thanks,
Listen,
Dick.
Rich. Thanks, Dick. I want you to know.
Remy taps him on the shoulder. Thanks, Dick.
Dick, I want you to know you've done
Dick
a real
Montgomery.
service to the real America today. I won't
Good.
forget it.
All right, well, just hurry up and come in.
All right, so we pour into the building.
Four of us file in.
The door closes. Bam! Dylan's still in the alley. Remy hits the door open again. It's like,
You guys,
let's go.
Dylan starts banging on the door.
Goes around, opens it again. Let's go.
Yes, Skid, your role playing was good enough to not need a roll. So you get in. Dick Montgomery slides back into the shadows to go about his janitorial duties. And there is a back stairwell leading up. But you do know there are cops roaming around on that floor. What do you do?
Remy will start walking up this back stairwell. He's going to reassess kind of once he gets up to the 5th floor. Okay. As long as he doesn't see any obstructions up till there, he's going to get to there and then see if he can see into the hall from this service or fire stairwell, wherever they are.
Yeah, sure. You get up there, and if you can slightly crack the door, you can see into the hallway. You see the half-open door that Chuck saw from the window looking in, with the yellow police tape on the door, and 2 police officers standing outside.
Wait, I got it. Russ, hold tight for a second. Maybe, Dylan, can you just go in there with your phone, just get it recording, and hold it low, and just act like you're a resident in the hotel, and you're just kind of like walking by. Play dumb. It'll be a huge stretch. But just try to act like you're an idiot. And record everything they say and do, and try to get a shot of inside the room.
Okay. All right. Okay. Just for reference, though, like maybe I could actually get a room in the hotel, so I wouldn't have to pretend.
Need a room, Dylan.
You get the shot, Dylan. You get the shot. I'll get your room in the hotel. Okay.
Okay.
I don't want to stay in this hotel.
Okay. What's my room number? Never mind.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Just make it up. Go.
Something up.
All right. So Dylan starts filming on his phone and wanders up to the door.
And the cops are like,
as he's walking away, I just want to say real quick, as he's walking away, Remy turns and is like, Chuck, get ready, because if they try to arrest him or something, let's shoot all of it. And then Russ, the cops are trying to prevent us from knowing the truth.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. Perfect. And he'll step back.
all right, so you come up with the film, and the cops are like, son, sir, you cannot be here right now. Please, put your phone down. You can't be on this floor. How did you get up here?
That's my room over there. I need to get to my room.
Are you a guest of this hotel?
Yeah. All of my worldly possessions are in that room over there.
Okay, I thought, he looks at the other guy, I thought we cleared out the whole floor. And he's like, someone must have got in. Well, sir, I'm sorry, you can't be in here right now. Everything's on lockdown until, there's been a crime committed. We've got to deal with this. You're going to have to go outside. You can come back when it's all over.
My baseball cards are in that room.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
I'm here to make a sale, man.
Okay,
you know what happens if I lose those cards?
I understand.
My college tuition are in those cards, man.
I totally understand. You can't be here right now, though, sir. And he starts to escort you down the stairs.
Can I do a charm roll to see if I can let me get past and go to my room?
Charm the cop? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Hey, listen, man. I get you're just trying to do your job. Look, listen, my dad had this baseball card collection, right? And he loved it. It was his favorite thing in the world. And then we had a fire. This fire just burned down our house. He lost everything. So I was trying to surprise him, and I took my tuition money and I bought this collection of baseball cards. And they're sitting in that room. And you tell me there's a crime here? What kind of crime? Are my cards safe? Listen, if I don't get to sell those cards, I don't get to stay in school. If I don't get to stay in school, I got to go work for the family business. We work for a slaughterhouse, man. It's brutal.
Give me your charm roll.
This is amazing.
I just want to share that totally and 100% randomly, Dylan ended up with a 69 charm.
Happens.
We've had an 86 and a 69 already today.
And I rolled an extreme success, an 11 under 69.
Oh my God.
An extreme success.
I mean,
Okay.
doesn't it start to make you realize how this kid even got the internship? He seems awful, but there's a reason
Something
that
about
we
him.
all still work with him.
Yeah.
So the officer looks back. He's like, "Can I just let the kid get his cards?" And he's like, "All right, go ahead." So one of the officers starts walking you down the hallway. The rest of
happened?
you still have one officer you got to deal with.
What happened in there, man?
He's like, "It's police business. I can't talk about it, but someone was murdered."
Someone was murdered. Yeah, was that loud? He's still filming. He's still filming really like that. He's down low. He's just holding his phone, but like he's actually kind of like trying to angle the camera very subtly to capture the room as we walk by.
Which one of these is your room? And he's just walking you down the hall.
That one, 509.
All right, you got a chance here to act fast. There's still one cop outside. What do you want to do while Dylan has created this distraction?
Can we try to move up and get a shot in the room or something? I don't know.
Russ texts Dylan. He just like texts him quick, just said, "Punch the cop."
Yeah, that'll draw the other one for sure.
Yeah, that'll draw all their attention.
We could say we know what the victim was wearing. Her name was, we could say Candy. Like, maybe we could get invited in.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
I'd like, just say, like, I'm here to see Candy. I like hot girls like her. She wears this.
That's good. Say that. Say that to the cop. Give me the camera.
He straps on the rig.
It is attached at 3 points.
Okay. All right, just go.
I can't believe he walked in with this rig on.
Really, was Candy's laissez, pretty standard fare for Candy.
Say you're here. You're here to record a tribute, a White Snake tribute music video.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
So the three of you goofballs go into the hallway.
I was hoping you would, but I'll do it.
Oh, well, yeah. Oh, just one of you wants to go out to try and distract this cop so that the other two of you can slip in. That seems to be... Because none of you are going to get in unless you try to knock this cop
and I'm going to
out.
have to be the one that does it. I'm
you should do it.
useless. Yeah, to actually shoot the scene.
Right.
All right, so Russell, you try and provide the second distraction.
You mean me? I'm going to try to provide the second
Remy's
distraction.
going to just do the
Yeah,
distraction?
because
Okay.
I'm saying we need Russ and the cameraman in the room. That would be the ideal.
I see. Okay, so what do you say to the cop? White Snake cover band video? What are you going to do?
I don't know. I want to use this information about the about knowing what she's wearing. All right, he'll open the door and he'll just start walking down the hall, and he's just like, just gonna have to wing it.
Excuse me, sir, where are all these people coming from? What are you doing here? You can't. This
my
whole
God.
floor is not locked off.
I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to get to my sister's room. She called me yesterday and said she was in room whatever that room is. Room 509. Is it 509?
Yes.
Has she already been escorted out?
Sir, oh boy, I have to bring you downstairs to talk to my sergeant.
What's going on? What happened?
John, do you got the kid? And he looks back. He's like, yeah, I got the kid. Which
What
room
happened? And
is
he
it?
pushes past the cop to try to like go into the room.
And he's like, sir, and you see the body lying on the ground.
And he goes, Candy!
Sir,
He calls his own sister Candy, I guess.
He's like, sir, no, I'm sorry, sir. And he just starts.
And he saw Mystic River, so he's doing the Mystic. There's not my sister in there. Like, it's super over dramatic.
He just saw it last night. He just watched it last
Happened
night.
to be watching Mr. River last night.
I just watched Mystic
Should
River.
do a luck roll to see if you happened to watch Mystic River last night and can accurately recreate the
With
moment.
that fresh in your mind, just like collapsing his body weight onto the cop, not fighting him, but like,
And the cop.
but like pulling like away. I don't know.
Yeah, and the cop is he's gonna bring you to the elevator. He's holding you in your sobbing body in his arms, and he hits the elevator door, and he says to the other cop, "You got this, yeah?" And he brings you into the elevator. Now is your chance, Chuck and
Okay.
Russell.
All right.
It's go time.
Yeah. Gus is like, come on. Chuck.
These two, I love this.
Yeah.
Come on.
Just looking around, and like we just kind of go to the room, make sure no one's watching, and he gets his microphone out, and it's just like, all right, you getting this?
Oh, hey, I've got you going up the hallway. Yeah, go.
I hurt my hair.
Great.
Never mind. Okay.
Never mind.
All right.
I wish I had hair.
Sorry, I know you hate when I bring it up. This is Russ Goldwater from the Daily DFN. We're here in a nondescript Fleabag Hotel on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, where the serial killer that the police have been calling the Lippo killer has apparently struck again. We see here a young sex worker, probably, or someone who just wants to look nice for their special someone. Maybe it's their anniversary. Maybe, I don't know.
There's a corpse right there.
Do something special for the birthday. Maybe she's happily married with a few kids. In any case, the tragedy here is palpable, and you can see the traces of some horrific experimentation have been done on his body. Is it the government? Are they involved somehow? I'm just asking questions.
I'm actually trying to get around him to show the body. It's like, that's the money shot
Taking
down
up
there.
the whole shot.
As you're doing this, you take a look at the face, and it provokes a sanity check from you, Russell, because it is absolutely horrific. A face with no fat in it.
Okay.
The whole body just, the skin falling off the bones.
Important mechanical question. Mm-hmm. What if Russ is already insane?
That's a good point.
This is true. He might be having a bout of insanity as he comes up here. I'm more concerned about all the people that are going to watch this video and have to roll a sanity check.
Oh, yeah, totally,
for every
yeah.
close-up shot of the victim's face.
Yeah.
Let's definitely roleplay that out.
What did you roll, Skid?
I rolled a 64 over 60, so that's a failure.
That's a failure. Okay, you take 3 points of sanity. You lose 3 points of sanity, I should say.
Yeah, so he's all excited to get into the room, and then he actually sees the face as after he starts, and he like stops short, and he's just like, and it just continues on from there. But he's visibly like shaken and sweating, like buckets of sweat are coming off of him now.
Yeah, it smells terrible in here. It smells like there's a little bit of a fecal matter smell to the room. And now you, Chuck, can see close up these holes on the ground, and it's the strangest thing. They don't look like burn. They look like burn marks from afar, but when you look, it's just like the matter that composed the space is gone. It's just like a hole, a perfect hole. And they're all over the place.
You get some good close-ups of that. But also, anything else around this room? Anything I couldn't see from my old position? Like pictures of her, on the nightstand, all normalized and,
Yeah. Or does she have is there a wallet or anything?
Yeah, there is
purse.
There is no purse or ID at all. Like if you quickly root around, and it doesn't look like she was here long. There's no suitcase or anything. She was, if she was staying here, she didn't bring a change of clothes or anything.
Seems like a pay by the hour sort of place.
Yeah.
You would know that.
Yeah.
They do offer hourly at a hotel such as this, so that could be the case. But yeah, you now know, you've bought as much time as possible. You got to get the hell out of here.
Okay.
Right. Get out of here. Does this place have security cameras? I think we could find out what she looked like when she went in, who she came in with. Yeah, so I'm gonna. Oh, you said those little holes in the sheets and like all that stuff. Is there like a pillowcase? Is there any item that's got that I could snag?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you grab like a pillowcase, you could take it. And when you take off the pillowcase, you see the hole goes straight through the pillow. The pillow is missing. All sorts of things, and then on the other side, there's another hole in the pillowcase identical to it. So whatever went through it went straight through the pillow and out the other side. So there's 2 perfect holes on either side of this pillowcase.
Okay. I'm just taking whatever it is, and we're GTFO.
GTFO. You go back to the stairwell. Dylan, how do you? The guy's like, son, you said this is your room here. Where's your room key?
Oh. He just starts. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! I must have lost it. Oh! You're a cop. Can you get me in?
No, I shouldn't even let you come down here.
You're a cop. Can you get me?
You're gonna have to come back later. Good luck trying to get a new key from the front desk. There's a lot going on right now, sir. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. And he starts bringing you towards the elevator.
And do I see that Russell and Chuck are in the clear, or are they
right as he turns around, you see like the door to the stairwell, the far stairwell, start to close, and a giant camera rig slipping out of view.
And Dylan drops the activity. He's like, "Okay, I'll go see about a new key. Thanks, man. Have a good day." He just walks away.
He's running down the hall,
and then he kicks the door down and starts rooting around looking for your baseball cards so he can resell them. All right, so you get down there. Remy, meanwhile, the cop brings you out and he brings you over to Detective Nickham, actually. And he's like, Detective, this man here is the brother of the deceased. And Nickham looks at you and is like, I'm so sorry, but your sister passed away.
Oh, how do you even know? Yeah. How do you know for sure? I didn't see her face.
I know that you're very upset right now, but would you mind if I ask you a couple questions?
Sure.
Seth, this is Joe's strong suit. His improvising answers like this, so this should be fun.
When's the last time you spoke to, what was your sister's name again?
It was, I'm so sorry. And he reaches into his pocket. He's like, I'm very busy work. He pulls out his phone and just looks at it so the cop can't see it and is like, oh my God. My sister just texted me. She's in another hotel. She's in the metro. She's not in the inn. She's in the... I'm really sorry. This is so embarrassing. Oh my God. I'm so sorry.
Oh, well, no, I'm glad.
Oh my God.
I'm so
She's
glad.
okay.
Yes. Someone else's sister is dead. I'm so glad yours isn't.
Well, I'm very sorry about your murder scene and everything.
Yeah,
I really didn't mean to cause such a fuss, but I'm very close with my sister, and I'm sorry. I'll leave you alone. I'll leave you be.
No, it's fine. I hate these talks anyway. So get out of here.
He just walks away.
As you walk away, NBC is standing there. It's like, Detective, is it true that the victim's livers were removed as well? Is that true? And he's like, no comment. And he waves over a couple of cops. Get these people back and get this guy out of here with his living sister.
I'm so sick of looking at his face, him and his living sister.
The cops usher you past the yellow tape, and somehow you have managed to break into a crime scene, shoot a stand-up piece, and get out unscathed.
Yeah, yep. And oh my God.
That's how we do it.
Oh God, it's gonna hit YouTube, and the implication is that the government did it. Amazing.
Yeah, that's right.
Amazing.
As you're walking out, you see Dylan come around the corner, and he's just like, Remy, did we get the story? No, I'm kidding.
What the heck do you want to do now?
Back to the office to look at the footage we have, and then also just going off of Seth's idea of like, let's see if we can dig in a little bit more on our own investigation.
Yeah, research all this.
Yeah, the previous murders too. Look deeper into them, maybe.
Okay, zip back to the office. All of the traffic is coming towards you. You actually, as you're leaving, you also see the coroner show up. And everyone's like, Dr. Vanderhey, Dr. Vanderhey. And he's like, hey, please, no comments, no questions. And he zips in, and you know that this guy, Dr. Vanderhey, has been the coroner for all of these murders as well. So you see him zip past, but then you get back to the office. And you look at the footage, it came out great. Even the Dutch shot iPhone footage from the exterior of the building. You're surprised at how the angles captured something that you haven't quite captured before.
Dylan, I think we owe you a room at the inn. He's so excited.
Then it cuts to commercial. I think we owe you a room at the inn.
Wow!
So, prior victims, this is what you know. These are like the reported facts that you would all have access to. So if you start like, well, what do we know? Let's put together what we do know. You know that they were all found with their body fat drained out of them. They were all larger but healthy people, as far as you know. Now, this woman that you've now all seen, if you watch the video, it's hard to tell if she was large or not beforehand because her body was just a pile. The prior victims have all been found over the last 3 weeks. They've all been found in various seedy motel and hotel rooms all across the city. And all of the victims, you don't know about this new one, but all of the previous victims had placed ads seeking a casual rendezvous on a website called Intimate Encounters, which is like an app website mainly for seeking anonymous sexual connections.
We probably do pop-up ads for them on the network.
Probably.
Now we're going to have a conflict of interest. Do we air the story and lose our sponsor?
That's right. We can't afford to lose any sponsors, Chuck. We only have the one.
IntimateEncounters.net.
It's like, was it Ashley Madison? It's like Ashley Madison.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We're a dirty rag. So, is there any information we can get on Dr. Vanderhey? Anything we can use to be all like, hey, if you don't want this to be on tonight's news, you should give us some information.
Oh, yeah.
So you do a search for Dr. Glenn Vanderhey. He's been a coroner. He's an older guy. He's in his late 70s. He's been the coroner of note for this case. Has worked on countless murder cases. He's well known. It wouldn't be impossible to set up an appointment with him. It's just where you are working. I just saw your background. Where you guys are working for such a disreputable news source, he may not want to talk to you.
Maybe we could just have Russ write a script of the things he's gonna say, and then call Dr. Vanderhey and threaten to go on the air with that script unless he comments.
Yeah.
Lord knows the things Russ comes up with is gonna be wackadoodle.
Yep.
And of course, we could always ambush him by his car. People like that.
That's true.
Yeah,
literally.
He really
Put
thought
him
for
on
this
camera.
answer.
Yeah, put him on camera. You're live.
Like just in the men's bathroom, he steps in, all of a sudden, boom, Mike.
I'm 70.
Can Dylan use his know-how of social media to track Dr. Vanderhey's movements on Facebook? And that way we can know when he's about to leave. We can get an idea of when he leaves work every day and ambush him by his car.
It's just pictures of his grandkids and
Ambush them.
Yeah, his Facebook is
We
mainly
hold
just.
one of his grandkids hostage until he gives us the information.
What is your grandfather hiding?
He just shares memes and puts up pictures of his grandkids.
He's a good man. We're going to ruin his life.
Yeah.
We could just camp out at the coroner's office. We could also see if we have a friendly contact in the police. I put one on my sheet during character creation. I just sort of kept it vague that he has a police detective contact, which I imagine somebody in this business would. Mm-hmm. So maybe somebody who's not from the same precinct, but who might be willing to help, is on maybe like a low-key payroll of ours already, or maybe they're just friends and could exchange information. Maybe he could get more information from the cops. I just don't know that if we'll get more info from the cops than what we've already seen. Maybe about the other crime scenes, but...
This is one of your connections. What is the mechanical thing called for this person?
The mechanical thing, it's called Insignificant People.
Significant people, okay.
Yeah. So I just wrote down Anthony D'Amico, a police detective.
Okay. Why don't you give Anthony a call? What is the what is the plan here? You want to talk to him over the phone? You want to set up a meeting with him?
I want to set up a meeting and in person and say, I want to set up a meeting in person. Like, hey, can you meet for a coffee? I want to talk about something we're working on here. And, you know about this recent murder. We're working on the case, and I don't have anything much new to add, but I want to see if you know anything about the other murders. He's like,
what do you want to meet tomorrow?
Today, if you can. I mean, we're trying to get this thing out. We're trying to beat the big guys to this.
I usually don't drink coffee this late at night.
Okay. Then whiskey, bourbon.
I've kind of given up brown liquor.
Okay. Red wine. How about red wine? Would you like to go to a wine bar?
Ask him if he wants a Cosmo.
He loves it.
Do you want a Cosmo?
Cops love Cosmos.
Cops love Cosmos. Russ said it.
There is a nice red wine bar over on 54th. All right, I could do a red wine.
Okay.
Now that we've decided on the choice of drink, I'll see you there at 10.
I'm glad we settled that.
Glad we settled that. In the meantime, so he's about to leave, and he's just like, in the meantime, backup plan. This is crazy, but why don't we just lure this guy out, and we'll just shoot him. We'll do the cops' work for him.
You want to shoot somebody?
No, you
want to shoot your buddy cop?
Chuck style shooting. No. Here's what I'm saying. Create a profile on the site, sort of, give the physical descriptions of what we know. Say we're looking for some action, and just draw this guy out.
Oh.
Pick a hotel room.
On it.
Chuck can use the drone. Yes, Dylan.
The kid loves hotels. This is time to shine.
You can actually get me that hotel room though, right? Like just to
Dylan.
Further the
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely, you're getting that hotel room.
We'll get you a suite in the shittiest hotel you could imagine. Don't worry.
I think that'll work out. Do I have to dress provocatively?
Please do.
You're not actually going to go in, Dylan. Just make the post. I got to go meet my friend, and when I come back, I want to see that the post is up and active, okay?
Okay, but do I get the hotel room? I'm just unclear on that point.
Yes, you get the hotel room. I couldn't be more clear. And then...
Hey, I'm just very confused. You don't want me to dress provocatively, but okay.
You can dress provocatively if you want to.
Remy hears as he's walking out the door, as it's fading away. You can dress provocatively if you want to.
That's not the point. It does not necessary.
All right. Actually, Dylan has pretty good library use, and I just want to research, see if I can find the original posts on intimateconnections.net. See if I can imitate, I can figure out the style that would attract this alien.
Go through
killer.
all the ones that got, if you could find them, all the people that ended up getting killed, you can find all their profiles and see if there are any common factors, either way.
Exactly.
Okay.
Would that be library use or?
more computer use, but I mean, it's not like you're going to go to the New York Public Library and look for this stuff. You're going to hop on the internet.
I want like a
see
research skill.
Internet searches library use.
Yeah, that
Unless
works.
he's like making a code.
Yeah, that sounds right.
All right, this is what I'll do is I'm going to give you some information about the victims. You know, let's establish who the victims already were, and then maybe what their connection to the website was. So if you go on Roll20 here, I'm going to show you some information on each of the victims.
Oh.
First victim was a man named David Eugensen. Second victim was a woman named Charlene Mendel. The third victim was Robert Hoff. And the details of the fourth victim have not been released yet.
Okay.
Let's go around the horn here and read what we have on David Eugensen. Skid, you want to read that?
Sure. He created his profile at Intimate Encounters on September 14th, the day that he was found dead. The media has figured out and previously reported on his profile handle, Cable Snake 69.
Oh, God.
How could a killer resist? He is listed with his employer's NCS as currently on medical leave.
And NCS is, you would know, is National Communication Services. They're like AT&T, but not as well known.
Not AT&T.
Not AT&T. What about Charlene Mendel? Matthew, give us the info on her.
So the media has likewise figured out and reported on her profile handle BBW4U24. She dropped out of sight the day after her encounter with David Eugensen. Oh, so she had an encounter with David Eugensen.
Oh.
So they knew each other.
Oh.
Okay.
Interesting.
No one had, so she dropped out of sight after her encounter with David Eugensen, calling in sick and canceling all appointments. No one had seen her, and her cat wasn't fed in her apartment. Oh, geez. It appears that she never returned home after her, quote, casual rendezvous with Mr. Eugensen. She changed her public profile picture to a much thinner one at that time, and she made a public post that day to explain that she's lost a lot of weight, is hoping to try out her new body, and is looking for a, quote, teddy bear who can hold his liquor to be her, quote, new mommy or daddy. She also changed her public status from heterosexual to bisexual. So wait, but if David Eugensen created his profile the day he was found dead, does that mean that Charlene Mendel met David Eugensen that same day as well?
Let's talk about Robert Hoff. Seth, you want to give us the details here on Robert?
Oh, while a member of the site for several years and quite active on it, he seldom ever replies to his messages. The media has likewise figured out and publicized his profile handle, Make Me Write Bad Checks. The majority of his public posts come across as desperate, apologetic, and insecure. I've been trying to solve that problem. He has a closet interest in being submissive and has had several memberships to femdom pornographic sites. However, he has never posted about this interest on Intimate Encounters and doesn't seem to have ever explored it in real life. He struggled with his alcoholism, has a suspended driver's license for his DUI. Hints of this information can be found on his public Intimate Encounters post. Wait, he posts that, but he doesn't post what he's into? Man.
It's a lot of internalized shame
I have
right
a
there.
suspended license, by the way, in case it turns you on.
But I don't want to tell you my
suspended license for DUI.
He dropped out of sight the day after Charlene Mendel was found dead, quitting his job and not returning to his apartment. There was no sign of him anywhere until he was found dead. The day that he died, he posted a new, more attractive photo.
Is this like a body hopping situation?
It seems that would be my guess.
Okay, let's find out who the last person that he intimately encountered with might be them.
Right.
Is it possible that the dress of the victim that we just saw in somewhat suggests dominatrix?
It was provocative, but it's hard to say dominatrix. Yeah.
Right.
Meanwhile,
So,
Joe,
sorry.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say. So the posting. Okay. Is that not gonna do anything? I don't get it now.
What posting?
Our idea of posting an ad and trying to draw the killer. It doesn't seem like these were just people that posted ads, and I don't know. Like they keep dying the day they post, or a new ad. I'm just very confused.
Well, they seem to be hooking up with the last victim.
Right.
Right.
Each time.
Yeah.
Who was the last person that Mr. Robert Hoff hooked up with?
Right.
So-
yeah. Is there a way to like hack into the site to find out any messages that passed back and forth between the victims, and B, we could also then blackmail everyone on the site the way they did with the Madison site.
So bad on that.
Yeah.
Well, the offices for Intimate Encounters are based in New York on the Lower East Side. Hacking into the site, it's a pretty well-used site, would be tough, unless one of you is an expert hacker. Not impossible. The offices are here, but you know that the guy that owns Intimate Encounters, a guy named John Nord, is a bit of a weirdo. He's not really cooperating with the police. If you Google him, right, there's a bunch of YouTube videos that pop up, and the one that's got the most views, like if you watch that, he's a guy in mid-30s, balding with an obvious comb over and a goatee, and in all of the videos he's always wearing like tailored tracksuits and mirrored sunglasses. And so if you click on the video that has the most clips, or the most views rather, he's like, you see him standing outside the headquarters to Intimate Encounters. He's like, this is yet again an egregious attempt at oppression by the religious right, trying to control the actions of consenting adults who choose to use our site, Intimate Encounters, at intimateencounters.com. The state and the church are clearly now hand in hand, marching in lockstep in an effort to force sexual conformity on the masses. Our clients' records and account information are private. This is about a right to privacy, and we protect that privacy at Intimate Encounters. That is intimateencounters.com. INTIMATE. Followed by another E. NCOUNTERS.com. Once again, that's I. And then we stop the video.
Sounds like Al Goldstein.
He's exactly, that's what it is. It's a young Al Goldstein. Now, oddly enough, with your choice of profession, it seems like his ideals, or at least what he's using to get more people to come to his site, might match up with some of your cockamamie news stories. But he has been unhelpful with the police because he's saying that that all that stuff is private. They're consenting adults.
Maybe he's a fan of your work, Russ.
Yeah. I think we just gotta go talk to this dude.
He definitely fits the profile, I'll say that.
I say what we do is we try to interview him for about a different subject and then ambush him.
Ambush him. Exactly. Ambush
They love
technique.
being ambushed.
Yeah.
Everyone gets ambushed today.
We want to do a story on government censorship. The oppression of the free market. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I like that. Let's close in on this wine bar, 54th Street and 9th Ave.
What's the name of the wine bar?
It's called
Heart and Vine.
Heart and Vine. Yep. Heart and Vine. It's one of the most romantic wine bars in all of the city.
In Hell's Kitchen.
In Hell's Kitchen. So
Sits down at like 2 p.m. with Anthony D'Amico.
New York detective.
Detective Anthony D'Amico, longtime friend of Remy Gunnarsson. He's already there, and he waves to you. with a glass of Shiraz in his hand.
Remy walks over, sits down. Hey, Tony. Thanks for meeting me on short notice. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, sorry about the whole coffee thing. I can't drink it this late. It's 10 o'clock. I'll be up all night.
Wait, is it 10 o'clock at night? What time is it?
It's nighttime.
Oh, okay, it's nighttime.
Yeah,
Okay.
nighttime on September 30th.
Well, in that case, I'll have a Chablis. I'll order a Chablis. And so, have you heard that there's another victim? The whatever, fat, draining serial killer?
Yeah, I did. The waiter comes over. Sir, we're actually all out of Chablis.
Son of a bitch! Like real loud, like aggressive. I'm sorry. Whatever is fine. Chardonnay's fine.
Okay, so sorry. Waiter walks.
What is it with this fucking place?
I just wanted to not yes and the simplest of I order a Chablis. I'm so sorry, we're out of Chablis. All right, so he's like, yeah, no, I heard that's not my case, but word's been getting around the precinct. Listen, I know what you do for work, and what you do for work is your own business, but this needs to be off the record.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I'm not looking for a quote here. I'm just trying to... Honestly, if this thing, from what Russ says and Chuck say, what they say they saw in there, I honestly want to stop this thing. But look, I'm not going to lie.
Wait. What they saw in there? What are you talking about?
You know what they saw. Everybody's talking about it. It's like a melted face or something. We're talking about it all in the street.
Wait, how do people know about? How does everybody know about this? This has all been very, very tight-lipped.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you might have a leak inside.
I'm just gonna start shooting people in the back till I find out who the leak is. But in the meantime, yeah, I'll talk to you. But if I see any of this come up on your show, we're done, man. I'm not gonna tell you this stuff anymore. In this instance, I think it might help, but the police are running scared. The FBI's not even getting involved, and
Why isn't the FBI getting involved?
Because basically, after the first murder, they started looking into this guy, Hugh Jensen, trying to figure out what happened, and the computers started shutting down. And so they didn't think too much of it. And then it was only a few days later that the second body showed up, and so then people started making the connection between the two. Evidently, they were on this sex site together. But as the police on the case started looking into the victims, looking into what happened, it was like a precinct-wide shutdown of the entire computer system. So the FBI doesn't want to touch it because their cybersecurity division is terrified of what the implications are here to national security. I don't think we're dealing with just a serial killer. I think we're dealing with a super hacker as well.
A cyber terrorist?
I think so. But so the FBI is talking with the NSA and the CIA because they think that a foreign power is using the lipo killer investigation to test some new, highly advanced and apparently self-aware computer virus. Russia, China. Think about it. Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah.
So are they working together? This killer and the hacker? Is the hacker the killer? Is these bodies just a distraction from what's really going on? I don't know. But meanwhile, they're dragging their feet to send help. More people are dying, and all the police resources are going to restoring the databases that were wiped out. We're talking like computer systems were completely wiped. Decades worth of police records are gone.
I mean, have they brought anybody in that's like a counter terrorism expert for cyber? I mean, have they brought anybody in to just dig into the computer stuff?
No, not yet. Not yet. The FBI refuses to come in. They're waiting because they're afraid the second they send someone in, this hacker's going to get into their database. What they've been able to do, I mean, this is the NYPD. what they've been able to do with the NYPD, if this happened on a national level, we'd all be fucked.
Huh. All right. Takes a sip of his Chardonnay. I'll leave you out of it, and we're not gonna talk about the cyber attack into this thing.
You can't.
Yeah, no need to.
It'll come out eventually. I'm sure all of this will come out when they find this psychopath. But right now, I don't know what's going on. Think about this. How is the fat being removed? And the liver is being taken out as well. I don't know if they've dropped that information. But there's no sign anywhere on the body of any type of surgery. So this is crazy. I think it might be a group of people. There's one person doing the hacking, maybe some medical professional,
some kind of surgeon. Yeah. What about? Have you looked into any? For Christ's sake, liposuction? Have you looked at any liposuction people?
No, I mean, it's not my case. I was thinking about just getting a gym membership and applying myself.
Right. Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know what else to ask. Geez, this just got a lot more complicated.
Yeah.
You know what just occurred to me is that, because I think, did all these people mention something about alcohol, like in their profiles? Because one guy had the DUI, right?
Mm-hmm. One guy said he's an alcoholic. I'm not sure.
Well, that's one of the things that can happen to your liver if you drink a bunch of alcohol, is it gets super fatty.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's like something else that he's looking for as alcoholics. If that's
maybe whatever this killer wants, they want, alcohol-infused livers, alcoholic livers.
Yeah.
It's the ideal garnish for a Manhattan.
Right.
I guess he could ask that too of Tony, just sort of a basic, like, has anybody made any connection to alcoholism among the victims?
No. I mean, the only thing I heard was about the livers. I thought it was a rumor, but I got a buddy that works over there, and he confirmed it.
All right. Well, thanks, Tony. I'll talk to you soon. I gotta get working on this.
All right.
And then he's just like, chug, like the old days, and they chug it away. And then I'll head out back to the office.
And while you've been gone, the name of the fourth victim has been released. So they put it out there, and her name is Miranda Tinoco.
Miranda Tinoco.
What do we know about her?
So if you jump on there, Dylan, you start an account on Intimate Encounters. You go back there and start looking her up. I'll put that information on the handouts. Joe, you want to give me a read on that for Miranda Tinoco?
Sure. She had been on the site for 4 years with very limited public traffic. Her profile name is easy to find, mtinoco1. She only checked the site once every 2 or 3 months. At 51, she was a lot older than most people on the site. Her profile mentions that she is, quote, 3 eyes sober, so please no drinkers. All right. Well, there goes the alcohol angle. Unless she was a lying alcoholic.
That's right.
Well, if she's 3 years sober, she is an alcoholic. She's just sober.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
she's recovered.
Also, she has 3 eyes, so maybe that's something we should look into.
3 of her eyes are sober.
Right. 3 of her eyes are sober. If she has any more eyes, they could still be drinking.
Yeah, there's your alien right there, Russ.
There we go. Found it. Cracked the case wide open.
So he'll share with them everything about the cyber attacks and some connection with looking into the murders results in the shutdown of the electric equipment. But what investigation led to that? Because, I mean, we're looking into it, aren't we? And we haven't seen anything shut down.
Maybe.
What did they do that triggered the cyber attack?
Yeah.
Maybe Intimate Encounters is a front, a government front. Right, Russ?
Oh, yeah. Sure, why not? Yeah. Yeah, maybe. What's his name? What's the John Nord? Maybe
John
he's
Nord.
complicit somehow. Maybe he's wrapped up in this. I know he's like sort of tacitly covering for the guy by not allowing the information to get out of the users, but maybe he's actually complicit, or maybe he knows about like the hacking that can happen and is actively trying to prevent that from. It's almost like he's being blackmailed. I don't know.
We'll find out when we ambush him tomorrow.
Ambush him tomorrow at a wine bar.
All right. Do we want to try to go through this, make this profile anyway, like in post?
Yeah, we might as well. And just let's mention that we want to do. We've been dying to go do a vodka luge because we can't get enough vodka.
So I guess it's because Russ is our on-camera talent, he's going to have to be the one who actually goes to the hotel and it acts as bait. So Dylan creates a profile for Russ on Intimate Encounters, not using his name, but tries to embody him a little bit.
Right.
Kind of sad, middle-aged man, recently lost his job, been drinking a little too much, just looking for,
Oh, wow, that's right.
He needs a casual encounter to get through get through things, to help, just some human connection.
Yeah, actually, it's funny. It seems like Russ actually would be the ideal next victim for this killer. He's had alcohol problems. He's needs to lose a few pounds.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then I put some posts up about I looking for a little human connection out there in this scary world.
What is the fake name?
Grizzly Bear Cuddles 86.
Grizzly Bear Cuddles 86.
Grizzly Bear Cuddles 86 profile has hit the intimateencounters.com. Is there anything else you want to do tonight? What's your plan of action for tomorrow? You're going to go try and set up an interview with John Nord at Intimate Encounters?
Did we try to ambush him tonight, or is it too late?
Were you going to ambush him, or were you going to ambush the coroner?
We were going to ambush the coroner. I'm sure we could just try.
The gentle old coroner.
But you get better results when you ambush them, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
Every time.
Catch
What
him
are
off
all these
guard.
bodies?
Ambush coroner and try to get on the books for an interview ASAP with John Nord about government censorship of sites that are actually getting the truth out there and actually helping people connect to one another.
It's a great angle.
Yeah.
The cops aren't. I don't have that option, but you're the perfect outfit for that. All right, so, boom, October 1st, 2022.
What's the weather like, Troy?
It's cold, but not too cold.
It's a Saturday. I looked it up.
It is a Saturday, yeah.
Saturday, it's perfect. There's street fairs going on, the ones that happen on Saturdays in the fall throughout the city.
Mm-hmm.
The smell of pretzels and fried dough is in the air. People selling garbage that no one wants. And you all wake up. Do you guys all live in the city, or do you live in the boroughs?
We all live in the same apartment.
We don't live at the office. We're like the Ghostbusters. We all live like upstairs in the office.
Yeah, as previously established, Dylan needs a place to stay for the night. He was promised a hotel room.
He sleeps on Remy's couch. He's like, I couldn't get you a hotel room. You can crash on my couch.
All right, do you have any bagel bites?
No, I don't have any bagel bites. bites.
You have Totino's pizza rolls.
That's like the perfect moocher question. It's just like, can I have this incredibly specific thing?
What's the
And
bagel
he goes,
bite
here,
situation?
just keep the receipt. He gives you the company card to go get bagel bites at the local Christini's.
All right, so what do you want to do first? You want to call up Nord's office and see if you can even get this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get this interview?
Yeah, Remy will do it.
All right, here's what I'm gonna say is like they're very wary when you get on the phone, and even though your angle is one that he would be open to, instead of it being a hard or an extreme role, it's still going to be a role that you're going to need to succeed. And I know you want to probably stick with persuade, so that's fine.
Yeah.
So what do you say to them? Hello, Intimate Encounters. This is
Hi.
Maureen.
Hi, Maureen. How are you today?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I am fantastic. My name is...
That's great.
My name is Remy Gunnarsson. I'm a producer over here at Two Americas Network, specifically on TDF, and I'm looking to set up an interview.
We are not doing any interviews right now. Company policy, we cannot discuss the ongoing matters. I'm so sorry.
No, of course not. It's actually unrelated to all of this drama. In fact, what we're trying to do is expose how drama like this has been cooked up by the government in order to close off sites like yours and like ours from getting the truth out to the real Americans. And I would love it if you could take a little time to just hear me out and just send it along to your boss and see if he's interested. I'll send you an email with a link to our site. You can see the kind of reporting that we do is all based around exposing these kinds of censorship and how they need to stop.
I'm sorry, what network did you say you were with?
Two America's Network, news network.
Okay. Are you the ones that posted that video saying that the senator was eating children to maintain his youthful appearance?
That was us, yes.
Hold, please. Give me your persuade roll.
Come on, Remy, you son of a bitch. 55 under 65. Yeah, 70. Under 70, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Hi, thanks for holding. Tim, was it?
Remy.
Remy. So sorry.
Not even remotely close.
Tim was
So sorry. Well, listen, Tim, I spoke to the boss, and he loves your channel and would love to do this. Is this something you'd want to do in person? I think he'd really prefer that. He likes being on camera.
Yes. I'm just really setting this up for Russell, who is going to be handling the interview. And yes, he prefers to work in person as well.
Okay, great. Now listen, I just have to tell you, if you start going into waters that he is not comfortable with, he's going to end the interview right there, and that'll be it. So if this is all some sort of ploy to find out things that we've already gone on the record and saying we're not going to talk about, I just want you to know we're going to shut it down. So we've had people try to fool us in the past. Obviously, we know who you guys are. I'm sure you'll bring your media credentials, but just giving you a heads up.
Can I do a psychology roll to see if she's getting fed information directly from the Keeper?
Yes.
This seems a little too on the nose.
Precisely.
I'm going to need an extreme success.
I failed. So all right. So yeah, he'll say, all right, Russ, we're gonna get one shot at this, and maybe one reaction shot. It's we'll see. But we booked the interview. It's gonna be today at 1:00.
Oh, great. You're a pro. You're the best. All right. All right. I'm just going to get psyched up now to get it out of the way. He's just like, he takes his shirt off and he's just like in an undershirt. He's like, he's just like pounding his fist against the wall of the cubicle, getting psyched up.
All right, so you guys hop in a cab and head down to the offices of Intimate Encounters. Mm-hmm. They're downtown on the Lower East Side. and they've become ground zero for a media circus. There's one news team posted out there, and you know that they've been there around the clock. They just have new crews coming in to relieve them, but they're there just waiting for something to break. And the reason you know is they're uploading nearly hourly reports on the happenings outside the building, and they're mostly boring because he's not revealing anything. He's not giving anyone access to the private files. You see print online reporters here as well, loitering about, hoping for a scoop or actively trying to find a way inside. But you've got the exclusive interview with John Nord. So you get in, you show your credentials, you're led upstairs to the 10th floor. And the office it's gross in there. It's not very nice. Clearly any money they're getting is just going right in Nord's pockets and not into making this place a fun workplace. But you do see Maureen sitting at the desk, and she says, hello, are you the crew from Two Americas?
Yes, that is us. You must be Maureen.
I am. Could you tell by my voice?
Yes, I recognize it from the phone.
And you're Tim.
Remy. Yeah, Remy.
Yes, I remember your voice as well.
My name is Tim.
All right, well, Mr. Nord is all set for you. Why don't you just come this way? And remember what we spoke about. And she leads you into his office, and he's sitting there, different tracksuit on, comb over, goatee. He's like, hey, oh my God, I love this guy. Hey. I love this guy.
Hey, you. I love you.
Finally, you know what I like about you is you tell it like it is.
You know what?
Everybody else tells it like it isn't.
Yeah, I don't want to tell it like it is. There's too many people out there telling it like it isn't. I want to tell it like, I'm glad that you're picking up what I'm throwing down. And he's walked all through the city with his makeup napkins on, tucked under his collar. So he's just finally he still has them on. He's just like this gigantic, ridiculous wad of napkins on his collar.
Well, so where do you want to do this here? You want to do something by the window?
Do you have a rooftop or anything like that? Somewhere we could, get some shots of the city?
You want to go up on the roof? I got roof access. There's nothing really up there, but we could bring some chairs.
I don't know. I don't want to do it outside. I'm just saying, do you have a view? Do you have windows that look over?
We got windows over. It's an okay view. It's not great.
Okay. All right. We can work with that. I just want to make sure we get you against a background, let everybody know where we are. And sorry, I'm just going to let you guys do it. Sorry.
Okay. How about over here? And he brings you over to a corner window that faces out. It's the Lower East Side, so the buildings aren't as high around here. You get a view. It's not a great view, but you do see buildings in Union Square in the distance.
Oh, this is beautiful. Is that the Flatiron?
It is.
No,
it is.
Oh, it is.
I told our real estate agent all I want is a view of the Flatiron.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you could just see the one corner of it.
It's just just a sliver.
Just a little. That's worth it then. I don't know what you're paying here, but it's worth it. Whatever.
I'm excited to talk. I think it's time that people understand what the man is trying to do to reputable businessmen like myself. So what you want to ask me questions? How do you want to do this?
Yeah. I think we'll get situated here, and we'll get our cameraman here. Chuck is going to
descend with lighting. He's got his quick holsters of tape.
Chuck is surprisingly professional for the level of production that we put on here.
Yeah, this is, how we can afford Chuck, I do not know.
I know he's so overqualified for this.
It sounds like he brings his own equipment.
Yeah,
his own.
I think Chuck does this for fun. I might not even be getting paid.
What's everybody else doing here? You see 4 other employees.
So Dylan, you may notice, is wearing a brand new Columbia University sky blue hoodie, and also some brand new, really fancy, cool sneakers. And
all on the credit card. Son of a bitch.
He goes, Dylan. He wants to sidle up to some of the employees and just get them talking about what it's like to work here and soften them up a bit.
I was
using his-
thinking too. Does Dylan? Does he have any like actual computer skill?
He does actually.
I was thinking maybe while this is happening, you could say you're going to the bathroom and like try to find an open workstation that's unlocked and see if you can poke around.
I can do that as well.
Yeah.
Remy he's going to stay in the room, obviously, as the producer, and he's going to try to talk to whoever seems the most senior besides Nord in the room, and he just wants to try to charm him up.
That would be Maureen.
Okay. So she leaves her desk, her front desk.
I'm not making up any more people. You just got to deal with what you have.
You gotta deal with it.
So you sounded pretty tense on the phone. Is they really pressuring you out there?
Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't for our security, and you see two big bodyguards out front, I mean, I'd have to fight them off. They've been outside 24 hours. They keep coming, trying to get this. We're not letting the cops in. We're not letting reporters in. This is a private business, and this information is private. You want to give us a warrant? Then we'll talk.
Yeah, no, I get it, but believe me, I'm so tired of getting the same sort of. It's just always assumed that we're just like all the other press. We're just going to breathe down your throat, trying to pull this stuff out, and really, we're just trying to get the truth out there about what all these other outlets are trying to do, which is just besmirch this whole company for something that has nothing to do with, in my opinion. But what can we do? We really appreciate you talking to us, though. It's a big help.
You're one of the good ones. And she squeezes your cheek and shakes it, and it hurts. And she slaps it. This is
really inappropriate. Well, now that obviously we're normally he'd walk away from behavior like that, but he really has to talk to this woman.
She got too comfortable, too fast.
I can see this happening so clearly. This is so funny.
So the other thing I always worry about is the things unrelated to what the media might be saying about you putting out there, but just the fact that it's out there at all. Are you seeing just like a flood of hits on the site from just like randos everywhere? Can your servers even handle the load?
Let me be honest. What has happened is a tragedy, an absolute tragedy. How our site got tied up in that.
Sure, totally.
I don't know, but business is booming.
Yeah,
I've never seen more traffic. And new accounts are being started every day. Why, look at this one. Grizzly Bear 86. I saw this fella and I thought I might give him a call myself.
He just goes, I don't know anything about that.
And then you slap her. Slap her in the face.
And basically he's just going to say, and all of this traffic hasn't caused any problems. With the server load or anything like that. He's just trying to see if they're having any cyber issues internally.
No, we had a couple outages, but we've got a pretty good security system here that records everything that happens on our systems. Should we be worried about a cyber breach?
No, I mean, just so when you have that kind of a flood of people, I just didn't know if it would, trip any systems or anything. But it sounds like you guys are ready for it, so that's great.
We're not the police. We're not looking. Everything's been great. One problem is, what are we going to do with all this money?
I know that's
right.
That's the real problem, right? All right, let's get this started here, guys. I don't want to take up too much of your time, Mr. Nord. Why don't you have a seat over here?
Okay.
Chuck, does this work for the lighting here? Chuck? Chuck
out a bout of madness.
Lost in thought.
No, Chuck's been trying to look around, make sure he's got everything right. I'm trying to hang stuff off of the ceiling as far as the pickup mics. I had some diffusers and whatever the hell else technical.
Ooh. Can we also have you leave a bug in there?
Oh, that's a good idea.
I don't know if I've got a bug, but I've got
everything.
I've got a reel of lapel mics.
There, yeah. Just leave a couple of lap mics.
Run the string all the way out to your van.
Feed it out. Just feed it out the window.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, let's do the interview.
Now, Now, one thing though, while we're doing this, since I'm assuming that we're going to be using a lot of plugs, am I getting anywhere around his desk while I'm doing any of this?
Yeah, you can. He kind of lets you go. He's like, I don't know how any of this stuff works. Yeah.
I'd like to see if he's got his password written anywhere.
Oh, good idea. Classic Ferris Bueller move.
Check
That is a
under the
classic.
stapler.
I'm going to say a hard spot hidden.
Okay, I'll take it.
See if he just happens to have something that says password :
Well, if he did, I didn't see that shit.
Can Dylan sidle
It was
up
not
to
a
the...
fumble. That's the best I'll say about it.
What are you looking at? You would have said.
Can Dylan sidle up to who looks to be the lowest ranking employee on staff?
Yes, also Maureen. No, it's
Do they have
there's a
an
guy,
intern,
a dweeby
perhaps?
looking guy, looks just like you. Not you, Matthew. You,
Dylan.
Dylan.
Tim.
Yeah, no. His name is George.
Dylan sidles up to him and is just like, oh man, my boss, he's such a dick.
Yeah, man. Mine too. The worst.
The worst. Listen, all I said was, can we order a little lunch? And he was like, no man, we don't have the budget for that. And I was like, I gotta eat. Listen, I gotta order lunch for myself now. I gotta put it on my own card. Do you mind if my phone's dead. Do you mind if I use a computer to just go on Seamless and just order some food? I'll get you something for you.
You want to use my computer? Yeah, give me a charm roll.
Real charming, this kid.
Yeah, such a charmer.
39 under 69.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, man. What are you thinking about getting? Some you want to get some sushi?
We got some sushi. I like sushi.
Yeah, there's a good sushi place not far from here. I'm in. You don't have to give me anything, but you offered. Yeah, dude.
Just did you have like a menu or something somewhere? Just like grab me a menu and all.
Yeah, let me see what I can find. Hold on. And he
Dylan
and
gets
he
to the
walks off.
computer immediately, starts looking to see if he can get any kind of info on users, strange activity, these people in particular.
All right, give me a computer use check.
All right.
Yeah, Dylan.
Come on,
Dylan.
Okay, I got a 57 over 50, but I'm going to use luck to make that to turn that into a success.
Yes. We haven't. That hasn't come into play yet, but I love that optional rule. So you can turn that into a success. Who do you want to research? David U. Jensen, Charlene Mendel, Robert Hoff, or the latest victim, Miranda Tinoco?
I mean, David U. Jensen feels like he might be the most juicy,
Yeah.
but then the latest victim feels like it might be able to help lead us to the next spot.
Yeah, it's
What do
got to
we
be
think?
either the first one or the last one, right?
Let's do. I'm gonna priority David U. Jensen and then secondarily Miranda Tinoco.
Okay. You look up David U. Jensen, and you find some new information.
Ooh.
If you open up your handout, you see that he contacted 20 women on September 14th, which was the day that he was found dead. They were all fuller-figured ladies looking for a casual rendezvous. 14 of these women either had posted comments about drinking or photos of themselves holding cocktails. He set the time and location of the meeting with Charlene Mendel, who was the second victim.
Okay.
Where was the
where-
location?
What was the look? Is it where she was found? Where David was found dead?
It was another crappy hotel, the La Samana Hotel on like Madison and 23rd.
Got it. And then that was just so I get the timeline right. That's where he was found dead, right?
Correct.
Okay. And yeah, it seems like body swap, like some sort of body swap.
Yeah,
fat monster in the sewers. Something I don't know. Seems like it's on our radar here.
Yeah.
And if so, whoever you Jensen was or is or is possessed by, seems like that's our culprit, right? Whatever is, because he's the original, the original appearance on the site.
But where does it start from? Can we see like how long he was a member of the site, or did he join, immediately do all this, and then immediately
he joined on the day he died, and he contacted 20 women. He joined on the day
he died. Yeah, I wonder if it has something. It's something to do with the site. Maybe something came out of the site and into him, or I don't know. I always wonder if it's weird. Like, how paranormal are we supposed to think as characters, or you know what I mean? Like, do we track down paranormal stuff? Have we done paranormal stories before, or do we just do scandalous, like, conspiracy alien stuff? Well, I guess I don't know.
I mean,
how much
Dylan
do we
has
actually believe
no
it?
occult and no Cthulhu mythos, so I assume Dylan does not go. His mind doesn't go there at all.
Right.
I just put a little into occult for Remy because I figured we produced some of this stuff on it. I don't have anything in mythos or unnatural or anything like that.
Done a couple Bigfoot exposés.
Yeah.
Like every episode of Unsolved Mysteries always had one supernatural mystery.
Option. Right.
Yeah. Oh, that was my favorite whenever they did that. Matthew, I'll let you roll until you fail here. And see if you want to press your luck and fumble.
Oh, do I? Okay, I rolled a 61 over 50, and I'm going to use more luck to turn that into a success.
Boy. Whoa. Okay.
Spendy Spenderson.
I'm getting really spendy on this.
Now who do you want to get information on?
Miranda Tinoco.
Okay. This one's juicy.
Oh,
yes.
Good choice, Dylan.
Nice.
Whereas David Eugensen, you find out that he started that account on the 14th. He was looking for fuller-figured women. He reached out to a bunch of them. They all were drinking or holding a cocktail. And he's the one that set up the meeting with Charlene Mendel at the location where he was found dead. And you know that he was listed as on a medical leave of absence with his employer, National Communications Services. With Miranda Tinoco, there was a lot more information.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Skid, you want to give us some of this stuff here?
Yes. Let me. I don't see it. Oh, I might have closed it. Okay. All right. She has canceled her membership and rejoined twice. She also changes her status from seeks LTR, that's long-term relationship, to seeking casual rendezvous frequently when she is on. The last time that she changed her status to seeking casual rendezvous was the day before she was found dead. She accepted a date for a casual rendezvous from Robert Hoff,
The third victim,
who claimed to not usually do this sort of thing and that he is really looking to find a special someone to spend time with. Mr. Hoff's writing style and attitude in these communications is a confident, nurturing, considerate, and respectfully take charge without a hint of his previous submissive insecurity. It also seems to be precisely what Miranda Tinoco had been longing for. She posted on her public Facebook profile that I may have finally found the one. She then dropped out of sight until she was found dead after arranging a date earlier that day with a man named Scott Parker, former Tottenham midfielder. Profile name, seriously, he was great. Parker Scott is Can't Lost, whom she invited to go to a cheap motel, split a bottle of tequila, and get it on, completely out of prior character. Wow.
So where's Scott Parker?
Where is Scott Parker?
That's who we have to find.
Yep. Can I roll one on Scott Parker, Troy?
You sure can.
I'm basically out of luck at this point, so I gotta roll a success.
Oh, come on.
17.
Yes!
Whoa!
Yes!
Good one.
That's a hard success.
Oh, that was
Yes.
the big one.
He's standing right behind you.
Did I hear my name being typed?
He's the intern.
Dylan gets his throat slit and falls
Yeah, that'd be
down.
amazing. I feel like you're putting in the seamless order for sush, and you're like, "What name do I give for the front desk?" He's like, Scott Parker. They're just like, what the splash slipper?
Okay.
Troy, we just wrote the story for you. You didn't take it. You had it right there.
And it's on a silver platter.
I know. That's amazing.
You look up Scott Parker. You see that he is currently on vacation from his job at Grinko, which is a warehouse-style shopping outlet store. He apparently reported to his boss that he needed to attend his mother's funeral out of state today.
Huh.
But when you start like searching Facebook and everything, his mother died 9 years ago.
The funeral was delayed.
Did.
He's 25 years old. From just quick searches, he looks like a heavy drinker, slightly overweight, with a fetish for much older women.
Dylan quickly creates a new profile. It's almost exactly the same as the one he created for Russ, but just as a woman.
Russ in a dress.
Yeah.
As you do that, as you are doing that, or whatever you're actually doing, the computer starts glitching.
Oh no.
And it just freezes on like a cracked screen image of it's indecipherable. Just looks like you're at intimateencounters.com. And the guy comes back and he's like, "Hey man, I got that menu."
Something happened to your computer. I was trying to get to Seamless, and it went a little weird. I gotta go talk to my boss.
Well, what do you mean? Something went weird. I thought you were gonna give me sushi.
I don't know what to do.
Why'd I get a menu if you're going on Seamless? It all seems fishy.
They have the specials. They have the specials. You know the thing with the
man. I'll reboot it. You get the sushi. And then we come back to your interview with Alex Nord. What is your goal here? What do you want to do? Is it not Alex? John Nord.
Yeah, not Alex. No, not Alex. So what? Yeah, what are we? What should my plan be here? Like, should we ambush him?
I don't think we ambush him at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know. We just have to get the information from Dylan quickly. So I don't know if Dylan comes up to Remy and,
Gives like the little hand signal.
yeah, he's like, we got it. And then Remy can like come up to you and say, "I'm so sorry, Mr. Nord. Can I borrow him for just a second? We just want to make sure we go over the flow of questions real quick, and I don't want to bother you with that. You have time to go to the bathroom real quick if you want to, and then we're going to get started, okay?" And he's just going to pull Russ aside.
Dylan leans in. Can I use the company card to get some sushi for this guy so he doesn't think I'm weird?
Yes, that's fine.
So
that's
he
fine.
doesn't think I'm.
Oh,
He's banging on his computer in
also
the
a little
back.
bit for me too. Thanks. Okay.
Hey, get me sushi. Do you want any sushi, Russell?
No. Give me a Philly cheesesteak. Any place that has sushi and Philly cheesesteak, I guess. Just give me I want a Philly cheesesteak.
Just split the orders between Shorty's and whatever the sushi place is.
Yeah, whatever. Raw fish? No.
So he's gonna just say to Russ, "We got some really good information. Let's keep a friend in Nord for right now."
Okay, so you pretty much use this all as a distraction, and
Yeah.
Dylan was able to get a bunch of information.
Dylan. Amazing, dude. Never sleep on the intern.
I know.
So yeah, we don't even need to play this out because you're not going to try to get any more information here. You interview him. He is quite open and he's crazy, and you can tell he tries to use vocabulary that he doesn't even understand just to sound smart. He's wearing this hot pink shirt with blue lettering that says intimateencounters.com, and every other sentence he's mentioning it, just going on and on about how it's such a tragedy, but in times of tragedy, it's a great time to find a casual encounter with someone, and the best place to do that is intimateencounters.com. And so he's a real dirtbag who is
So Al Goldstein. This is so funny.
This is a parasite capitalizing off this tragedy. It goes really well, and he's like, "Can I get some pictures?" And posing for pictures with you, shaking hands, and then you guys get out of there.
The intern never brought me food.
Says
You
Chuck
see
as
Dylan.
you're
You see
watching
Dylan
out.
eating the sushi and the Philly cheesesteak, and then he's like,
Because I was like, everybody got asked except for Chuck. Story
no
of
one
Chuck's
took-
life.
No one took Chuck's order.
"No, I'm dead."
Sorry, Chuck.
Sorry, Chuck.
He's carrying the heavy rig.
He's he's doing the work of 4 men, like dismantling this entire interview set himself.
Remy, I think I forgot to get Chuck some lunch. Can I go run and get him something and maybe a little something for me too?
Remy looks up, mouth full of raw fish. It's just like, Chuck's fine. All right, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here and work on this new juicy info.
Yeah, so if you're seeing this pattern that like the dead person ends up, making a meeting with the next person, blah, 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 it seems like Scott Parker is the one on your radar here. He's also the coroner.
He's also the coroner?
No, I said there's also I should mention that he's also unrelated, a coroner here in the city.
So do we want to attack the coroner?
Can we make a
Coroner,
profile to attract Scott Parker, or just straight up?
Right. I'm sorry, you got interrupted doing that. That is the priority: is make a profile to attract Scott Parker,
or just
Use
straight up.
Use Russ's phone for that.
You'll use Russ's phone.
Yeah.
And maybe we could straight up message him too, right? Or do we think that's?
Skid his pussy, putting Scott Parker of Tottenham on the screen.
Come on, you Spurs.
All right, go ahead, Matthew. What were you saying?
So either we'll make the profile, we'll make it really attractive. We'll find a great some picture online. We'll just totally catfish this monster.
Yes.
And then the question is, do we message him directly, or do we just?
Well, why don't we let it sit for leave the bait on the hook out there for a little, be patient for a little. If we don't get a hit today, then maybe tomorrow we hit the we message him. Or late tonight.
Did we get his address or credit card information? It'd have been a lot better if Scott Parker had been buying all the sushi. But
well, that's the thing is if we go to his profile and start messaging him, it might shut down our systems.
Right, and he might already be on to somebody looking into him because the computer was glitching out at the office anyway.
It's true. We need to have that profile ready, the bait on the hook.
Yep. Yeah, so let's get it posted right away from our office so that it's not whatchamacallit. I mean, it's a different.
We'll do it from Russ's phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you grab Russ's phone, and do you look up Scott Parker, or you just start making a...
No.
Well, we can look at his profile, right?
No.
Yeah.
No. Just don't even look at his profile, and because this is what triggers, we think, possibly. This is possibly what triggers the cyber attack. So let's just make our profile with his perfect ideal, post it, and then leave the bait on the hook. We're live bait fishing right now. No activity. Just let it sit there.
Yep.
Okay. What do you know about him? He has a fetish for older women.
Women.
He's overweight and a drinker. So what do you make?
An older woman who's a drinker who's seeking casual rendezvous, not seeking long-term relationships.
Yep.
Okay.
I talk about we mentioned casually that all of her family is dead, and she feels a little isolated with no close friends, and no one would notice her if she was gone.
My only friend right now is Mr. Jack Daniels.
Yes.
Yeah.
So a desperate, older, overweight alcoholic.
Yeah.
Would we say desperate?
I'm an only child. I recently lost my parents. I don't have any friends. I'm looking for, what I mean? Just
sometimes
an ideal
I feel like if I went missing, no one would look for me.
Yeah, exactly.
No, for weeks.
Sometimes I feel like
I recently lost my job.
Do you ever get the feeling that if you went missing, no one would look for you or inquire about your death? That's me to a T. All right, so let's I'm going to need a luck roll here. And Matthew, I know you burned your luck. So I will say anyone can make this roll to just see if this gets out in the ether.
Okay.
In front of his eyes.
Who wants to do it? So it's just
I'm a 55.
you should. Oh, Chuck, this is all you. Chuck, you're the luckiest man I know.
I was hoping somebody would throw out a number higher than that.
Chuck will be the one to hit save
I
profile.
actually, can we pause for a second on this? I actually don't have luck or sanity. I just realized that skip that in character creation. Where do those numbers come from?
86 for luck. Sanity is your POW.
Sanity is your
starts at
POW, and then luck is 3d6 times 5.
Yep.
Okay.
So maybe you'll have a higher luck.
Maybe,
Then
maybe
again,
we'll be really lucky.
it is you rolling.
It is me. Let's see.
True.
Yeah, 55.
Okay.
So same as Chuck.
Okay.
So Chuck's
would
like, let me
prefer
look at that
Seth
profile
roll.
before we hit save.
Okay. I'll
Maybe
do
Chuck
it.
has a profile on the site and he knows the ins and outs.
Oh.
No.
83.
Can you spend luck on a luck roll?
Unfortunately, no.
Makes sense.
But you get that profile out there. You know, you still have the option of direct messaging.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. If we. Yeah. Okay. Great. Then we can try talking to the coroner, or we can just give it a few hours and then direct message. But I would say we should direct message from a computer we don't mind losing from an open internet connection somewhere in like a hotel lobby or something, like not in our office.
Just use Russ's phone.
No, we're not using my phone anymore for these things. It's bad enough that you're setting me up to be murdered.
You know, what we need to do is we need to be able to like get one of those news crew vans. I'd like to use their laptop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Their internet.
Bring
Yes, his
down New
laptop.
York 1. One fell swoop. Tell them there's a loose octopus on the roof. They'll come running.
So what's the next course of action? You've created a
I guess
profile.
we should ambush the coroner.
Ambush the coroner, and let's DM Scott Parker after that.
Yeah.
All right, so you head back to Hell's Kitchen, find out where the coroner's office is, and you show up and you're standing outside the coroner's office. What do you want to do?
Well, we're hiding in the bushes and waiting for the coroner to walk out
Okay.
to his car, where he's going to go home to his wife
Yeah, we're going to follow him home.
and, the grandparents of many grandchildren, and we're going to jam him up against his car and put a microphone in his face and scream at him. What's the evidence? No, I don't know what we're doing. I assume we're just waiting to get him on the street. So we're up the block, basically, watching his car.
Okay. So he's not at the morgue. He's at his office. You're able to find that information. And so around lunchtime, this kindly old man steps out, starts walking in the direction of Lenny's Bagels.
We come screeching up in a van.
Yeah.
Side door slides open. Chuck jumps out. He's already rolling. Russ pops out passenger seat.
Ah!
I'm plucking the makeup napkins out of my collar.
I had to reapply.
What is the meaning of this?
We're standing here. This is, what's my name again? Russ Goldwater, standing here in central Manhattan, and we are talking to the coroner who has been in charge of investigating the tactics of this murderer the police have dubbed the Lipo murderer. What are you hiding, sir?
He's like walking away and trying to shield his face. No, please, leave me alone. I'm set to retire soon.
We
Talk
know
to
where
the
your
police.
grandchildren live, sir.
What?
My God, that's so bad.
Who leaves them out of this?
He's like, Russ,
Jumps immediately.
Dylan starts filming on his phone.
I'm just saying we're really good at research, so you shouldn't, that's how good we are at stuff.
Please, what do you want from me?
Tell us everything you know. Now.
I can't speak about the murders here on the street.
Come into our van, little boy.
Yeah, step into our van.
You have my grandchildren in there.
No, not yet.
Morris, Shelley,
Not yet.
please, please, turn down your cameras. I'm happy to talk to you. Just take me out for a beer and a burger across the street and I'll talk. I don't want to talk in front of all these cameras.
Dylan
All right,
is like,
Chuck. Cut it down. Dylan, keep rolling. We're sorry, sir. We get a lot of people that are very evasive and have no interest in sharing the truth with the news. And we really want to get to the bottom of what's happening here so we can stop this damn killer before he strikes again. Can we buy you a drink?
Give me a fast talk roll.
How about a charm?
All right, charm the old man.
Charm the old man. Oh, 6.
Oh, nice.
Extreme success.
Yes. I think he's fallen in love with you.
Yes, I'm happy to talk to you. This is a very strange case, and I have no one to talk to. Perhaps even scumbags such as yourself who threatened my grandchildren.
It was taken out of context.
Yeah, that's
sir.
really.
It's not what we meant. We were talking about the thoroughness of our
I'm
research
the
and all
victim
things.
here.
Perhaps you can help. Let's go get a beer and a burger. Your treat.
My treat. Don't worry about it.
All right.
you know, if the doctor is feeling isolated, maybe we suggest he make a profile on internetencounters.com.
Yes, my wife passed years ago. I've thought about a casual rendezvous.
Well, let's get you about 30 or 40 beers and start working on the profile.
Yes. I actually set up
40
one with a man
profiles.
named Scott Parker for later this evening.
Interesting.
How convenient. No. All right, the beer, yes. And once again, this is on you, yes?
Yes,
Yes.
it's on one of our co-producers. His name's
Yes,
Scott Parker.
I'll take care.
He orders a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle 25 year. A porterhouse for two and a lobster.
Got a steakhouse.
What a bastard.
I'll take the porterhouse for two with a side lobster.
I'll have the same.
No, Dylan, for fuck's sake.
I mean, Remy,
Make that 2.
it's just, he's just popping Tums now. He's just like, he's going to get fired for this expense account.
All right, so there are
Oh, I'm doing it. Nobody bought me
bottles of-
lunch.
2 bottles of Pappy Van Winkle 25 year at the table now. 2 porterhouse steaks for 2 and 2 lobsters.
Like a $10,000 meal.
And he's like, he sits there shaking his head. He's like, I've been a scientist for over 50 years. I'm not someone who takes stock in conspiracy theories or claims of the supernatural, but I trust my own eyes and my faculties, and what has happened here with these murders is unlike anything I've seen in my 5 decades of being a renowned coroner. When I first entered my notes into the computer, every terminal in the building crashed. Now, almost 3 weeks later, the IT department has yet to restore them, and I'm convinced by now they never will. Since then, I've taken to recording everything by hand, in notebooks. There's no school like the old school, they say. So, I will share this with you. He takes another sip of the Pappy, takes a bite of the porterhouse, cracks a lobster tail.
Why did we come here?
A 25-year Pappy Van Winkle is much more than $10,000.
I know, it's like, why did we go across the street to Sparks? It's like, that's what was the closest available place.
Yes, I'm sorry. I thought Sparks would be appropriate since you threatened my life and the life of my grandchildren. Here are my notes. All 3 bodies I have examined. I have not examined Miss Tinoco yet. That will probably be happening tomorrow. They were all missing their livers and all traces of body fat. I'm sure you know the latter. I don't know if you know about the livers. There's no evidence of how this was accomplished. There's no incisions or signs of medical procedure of any kind. None of the victims' remains showed any sign of sexual contact, nor had any obvious violence been committed against them. As I examined the remaining tissue, this is where it gets a bit strange. It all showed a huge percentage of cells from various parts of their body showed signs of advanced cancer. The condition was so advanced that it's unlikely that they would have been able to stand, let alone have the ability to partake in an amorous encounter. When I looked into the victims' medical histories, none of them showed any signs of cancer. Yet the progress of the disease would have taken several months to reach the point that it did at the time that I examined the bodies, and presumably at the time of their death. That said, I can find no specific cause of death in any of the victims. Obviously, having one's liver and body fat removed and having advanced systemic cancer is enough to kill anyone. But I'm more puzzled as to how these people were able to function normally leading up to their being found. We also found trace amounts of fecal matter on the shoes of all of the victims. Trace amounts.
Poop stank.
There was this. That must have been the poop stank that you smelled in the hotel. That's how we say it.
It's on my notes.
Prominently, I circled it.
But beyond that, I'm completely flabbergasted by this. And I would assume when I get a hold of the new victim's body that I will find the same thing.
Did any of them have like perfectly circular holes cut in them, or their clothes, or?
No. Although I got the report from yesterday's murder and I saw that those holes were around. Evidently those holes were at every crime scene. But no. The bodies were fully intact were it not for the missing liver and body fat.
No, like,
Weird.
no hickeys?
No, not a single evidence that there was any sexual contact, and it's my understanding that all of them were lured there with promises of an intimate encounter.
.com.
Just rolls off the tongue now.
You're rolling, right?
I just made $5 every time I had
that. This is weird.
Is there any pattern with the because we can see when they died? Is there any or they were found? Is there any pattern to their deaths? Is it any repeating cycle?
I mean, the pattern is they all had the same thing. The one thing I noticed is that the dates seem to all be spaced apart evenly. And if my calculations are correct, where Mr. Eugensen was found on the 14th, presumably died on the 14th, and then the next victim was the 30th, and the other two were spaced out. There's a good chance your killer will be found on October 4th, committing the fifth crime. If he or she or they continue along the same vein, it's always been every I can't remember how many days, but it's a very set amount of days.
Okay. And now, so the liver that's missing, and you said it wasn't cut out. Was it like just not there?
Just not there. No amount of it. It's not like it was dissolved. It's just gone.
When the veins and the hoses and the noodles go into the liver, how do they end? Are they cut? Are they just with it?
Well, when I opened it up, it's just missing. Yes, the veins just at a certain point stop, and I can't even call it an incision. It just ends. Ends. It's almost if out of a cartoon. A perfect cut, but no signs of a knife slicing through the connective tissue.
Have you ever seen that before? Like in a birth defect or?
Never in my life.
Oh.
It was as if the matter was just removed.
Weird.
It's really weird.
Good.
Isn't this delicious? Another round of lobsters for the table.
Now, You said that they all had cancer.
Yes. Advanced cancer.
Was there any sign that any of them might have been alcoholics?
Oh, yes. I mean, by looking at their previous history, it appeared that almost all of them had a problem. Now, obviously, I didn't get a chance to check out the liver, but...
Well, not
looking
having
at-
liver would make it difficult.
Yes, but looking at other body parts, they did have the telltale signs of someone that struggled with alcoholism. And their public profiles said as much as well. That was in the police report. Obviously, if I had the liver, I could give you a more definite answer. It's quite strange. I just hope they find this person or persons.
So is there like any used prices for livers or anything like that? Would there be any sort of like reason the cartels would be stealing livers?
The liver black market, of course.
Yes.
Yes, it's thriving these days, the liver black market.
Been checking all the liver sites for any suspicious new postings.
Now, yes, it's not uncommon. I've heard of such things, organs being stolen, some of it being just urban legend, some of it being true. But that is the work of mob doctors and thieves cutting them out, and still there's no incision. This is the work of something completely different. And if I hadn't spent 50 years working as a scientist, I would say something else. I really don't know. I've never seen anything like this.
Dylan is quietly still filming secretly from the table. He's like, no, say it, doctor. Say it.
Yeah.
What do you
Don't hold
really
back.
think? We're not going to hold it against you.
Have another
think-
bottle of Pappy Van Winkle.
One more Winkle. Make this a 22 year.
We're about to report this credit card stolen in a few minutes.
Yeah.
I
By you.
I think this is something completely unnatural and out of this world. There, I said it. Maybe it's my 7th glass of Pappy, but it just defies science. Defies it. What did you say this site was? Intimate encounter? Maybe it's the Pappy talking, but I am horny now. Do you ever drink and just want to have sex? That's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at right now.
Sure, you know. Well, we all have our weaknesses.
Thank you so much for your time. You've been very helpful. I think we we'll let you go.
What a question for you.
Yes.
How do you like this for a handle? Big guy, the science guy. Do you get it?
I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the ladies will love it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm half tempted myself, sir.
Perfect. I'm rather large.
Well, that's good to know. And anyway,
Have a good night. Thank you for
have a good night
coming.
as well.
Yes. I'm going to sit here with all the leftovers. And thank you for picking up the tab. I hope to never see you again.
Sure. Your grandchildren are lovely, by the way.
I really wish you'd stop talking.
Very lucky man. And we just run out on the check.
Yes. It's it's getting late. Yeah.
You run out on the $25,000 check.
Oh, this would be like $100,000 check at this point.
It's $100,000
For this poor man who is just...
My favorite part was another round of lobsters, please.
round of lobster.
Just absolutely gorging ours. Dylan is in heaven, just like.
Can't believe the intern got in on this. All right, so here's what you got. You've got some information about the first victim. Maybe this is where this all started, it seems like. You've got some information on the latest victim. And you know from the latest victim and the first victim that they're both connected. Maybe somehow tied up in this. Tracking what he's going to do next may lead you to the killer. Thank you, Skid. You've got all this extra information that the liver was removed along with the body fat, no signs of any incisions, that they all had advanced cancer in a way that they wouldn't have been able to even walk into those hotel rooms. What do you want to do? What can you do?
Man.
I mean, I think that we have to try to, and I don't even know how to begin doing this, Remy's saying, but I think we need to try to start tracking Scott Parker somehow without using the internet, without using computers. We need to find out where, just get an address or something, and then we need to just walk there and wait there to follow him. The cops don't know about this. We're the only ones with this lead. If we can get footage of him from the get, not only can we put him away before he commits his next crime, but we can get the exclusive on the arrest.
How many Scott Parkers could there possibly be in this city?
In a city of 7 million people. Four?
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is that you, by having access to his Intimate Encounters account, you can find out a little bit more, maybe narrow it down a little bit. You might even be able to find out where he lives, but that's going to require hopping on your phone or a computer.
All right, well, yeah, let's go to...
We know where he used to work. We can
why don't we
get
talk
in there?
to...
We can shut down their network.
Then you don't have
getting his address.
And then you don't have to worry about...
Oh, that, or we just show up and you're like, hey, I was looking for my old buddy Scott. They're like, oh, we're not supposed to give out private information, but we got some charming and persuasives. I can intimidate. Between us, we can bully this information out of somebody to get us info.
I like that idea.
All right, you know he's on vacation from his job at Grenco. Let's just fast forward to you getting to Grenco. You're standing outside of this shopping outlet store in the financial district. You go inside, and there's a woman behind the counter.
Yeah, just ask if Scott's here.
Hi.
Hey.
No, please.
Sorry.
No, I'm
sorry. I was
after you.
I was thinking about something. You scared me.
Hey, what are you thinking about, young lady?
Oh, just about the world.
Oh, you had a look on your face. Looked like you were thinking about my old friend Scott Parker. I know that look. You get it?
I know that look anyway.
You know Scott?
Why, yeah, Scott, I go way back.
Oh, Scott. Yes, Scott works in our suit department. He fits men for suits. He's a suitist. We call him here at Grenco. But he is out of town. He's on vacation. He's sadly at his mother's funeral. Did you know his mother?
Oh no, Diane? She died?
Yes, Diane Parker.
Oh no, we used to go out.
Really?
His mother and I. We were quite hot and heavy for a while.
I'm sorry that I had to be the one to break the news to you.
Oh, what a horrible way to find out something so horrible.
Yes, I'm so sorry for your loss.
Do you have any forwarding information? There's something that happened between his mother and I that I really need to apologize to Scott for in person. Do you have any?
You want to send like a sympathy card to?
Yeah,
to
a sympathy card or an Evite.
An Evite.
No internet. No,
sympathy card would be great.
Sympathy card would be great.
I suppose I could get you his address. Hold on.
Great.
And she comes back and she gives you his address because
great.
no one knows that he's being investigated. So
Right.
she's like, oh sure.
Also, you have to give credit to you. Look like.
I can't thinking of Scott Parker.
You look like you're thinking of my old friend Scott Parker. Oh God,
that telltale look.
He lives. It's a long walk and a short cab away.
Okay.
All right. You know what? Thank you. You know what? I'm going to come back later, buy a suit for that funeral.
He says, busting out laughing.
All right. Good. Nice to meet you. So sorry
too.
again for your loss.
You too, Debbie.
All right. And you hightail it over to his apartment.
Yep.
What, do you hit the buzzer? What do you do?
I mean, are we going to stake it out? Or are we going to just confront this guy? Do we call the police?
Let's
We don't
get
know.
The
Chuck's drone. There we go.
Oh, there we go. Chuck's drone.
Chuck's drone!
Little Bessie.
Little Bessie.
Oh,
Little Bessie.
What secrets will you tell, little Bessie?
Landed on his balcony.
Yes.
And when he goes to take it out to the trash, we can ambush him.
The trash compactor.
You're risking compacting Little Bessie.
Yeah, let's work the drone. I like this.
Yeah.
Okay. So you find another little alleyway, and you send the drone searching. You can see where his apartment 410. So you look for the 4th floor, and you just start rotating around, trying to figure out. If you look into the lobby, you're like, all right, if that's 101 and that's 102, then 410 is going to be in the back. So you send it around back, and you're just scanning through the windows.
Is there any exterior fire escapes or anything?
There is a fire escape behind the building.
Okay.
And just zipping through, you don't see anything that would make you think, oh, that's... You don't see a Scott Parker. You don't see a person of interest. In one of the apartments, you see a woman changing. And
A few seconds to that.
you hold on to that for a second. Then you keep bopping.
Damn it, Chuck.
But yeah, you don't see anyone that looks like the image that Dylan saw on the website.
No, see, we're going to do an expose later on all the peeping toms that use drones, and we'll use that footage.
Yeah,
in
this is
Stinger.
classic. This is a great B-roll.
Gotta get that roll.
Okay, so I don't see any evidence.
So we know what he looks like, right?
Yeah, I
From
would
his
say
profile
from before Dylan fried the computer, you saw his profile.
Okay. But he's the only one that can identify him.
Right. You can describe him to you, but yeah, he's the only one that we like. That's him.
Okay.
We know which apartment, so we could go up to it. We could try to find a way to break into his apartment.
Or just knock on the door.
As you're standing there, people keep coming in every once in a while.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, just do a classic. Hold the door, hold the door, hold the door.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've got
Yeah.
all this fucking camera equipment. My hands are full.
Okay. Do you live here?
What's your name?
I visit my buddy Scott.
Scott? I don't know Scott.
Scott Parker, 5th floor?
No. I don't. I just moved in here recently.
Oh, okay. Wait. Well, welcome to the neighborhood.
You're
We're-
gonna be seeing us all the time.
Oh, yeah.
You
You're
look
gonna be
fun.
holding the
What's
door
all
a
this
lot.
equipment for? Are you filming
Pornography.
Pornography?
Yeah, we're making pornography up on the 5th floor
All right, you kids, have
Pornographers.
fun.
with Scott Parker.
Kids in your pornography. And she goes off to her little 1st floor apartment.
You kids in your pornography.
Kids in your amateur pornography. Have fun. And you go up to his room.
Yep.
Do you knock? What do you do?
Yeah, let's knock.
Yeah.
Gung, 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 gung. No answer. Gung, 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 gung. Nothing. Someone comes out of a door, like, across the way. Is locking the door and kind of side-eyeing you.
Excuse me. I'm so sorry to bother you. Do you know Scott? And he just points to the door.
Scott? Yeah. I know Scott.
Do you know if he's in town or he's not answering? And I'm just curious if you know if he's left town or anything.
No, I haven't seen him in a couple days. I've been grabbing his paper for him just because it was piling up.
Oh, he didn't ask you to.
No, he seems like a nice guy. He's brought packages upstairs from downstairs up to my door, so I saw he had like a few days worth of papers, so I just grabbed him. Are you buddies of his?
Yeah.
Well, work buddies, but yeah. Okay, great. Thank you. Enjoy your day.
Hey, listen. I know a lot of times neighbors will pass keys back and forth. You wouldn't happen to have Scott's key, would you?
No, I don't. We weren't that close. We were just kind of close when you grab each other's packages.
Right.
But from,
Message received.
From UPS.
I see.
And,
All right.
Anywho.
Yeah, whatever. Okay.
I hope Scott's all right.
Us too.
Us too. Big time. Big time. All right. Later.
Dylan.
Dylan.
Yeah, bye. Dylan, we're going to need you. He grabs him by the shoulders again. We're going to need you to crawl out onto the fire escape and crawl into his window.
That, or do you know how to pick a lock?
I will say Chuck can climb like a ninja.
Oh, Chuck. We'll have Chuck do it.
Okay,
I didn't
good.
get lockpicking because I figured I wouldn't. But yeah, I got a good climb for getting up on ladders and scaffolding and peering down and taping stuff.
Yeah.
That's great.
I'm actually a better climber than I am a videographer, but that's a different story.
So then, can we get roof access? Can we go up to the roof and then down the fire escape, basically?
Now that you're in, yeah, you absolutely could.
Okay.
All right, that's the route.
So you guys go up.
Well, I'll wait by the door. That way, we can let us in.
Let us. Yeah.
Oh, no, we'll all wait there. I'm just saying in general, like, we can use that method. All right, Scott.
You go up. You come down the fire escape. Let me see that climb.
I mean,
Okay.
you don't really need to climb. If you can get at roof access, you just walk down the fire escape.
Just want to roll dice.
Yeah, I hear you.
I just want to see if he falls to his death.
I just want to see him fall to his death on a routine.
You ever
fire
been on
escape.
those scary fire escapes?
They are pretty scary.
Yeah, they're pretty
I have
scary.
been.
Yeah, I start freaking out at the top of a 12-foot ladder, so no, I haven't.
Yeah. Same.
God, some New York fire escapes are bad. No, I'll just say you can get down there. You get down, no problem, and you come to the window. What do you want to do? Break the window?
Yeah.
Well, first we'll just check, see if we can wiggle it. I guess peer inside first. I don't want to think there's like a fat sucking freak on the other side of the glass.
That's true.
You look inside. You don't see anything.
Okay.
Pop it open. Let me do a luck roll over here myself for you. It's unlocked.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Such a trusting city.
I give it a 50% chance. You pop it open, and you slide right in. You look around, and there is no one there.
Does it smell like poop?
Oh, good
No.
question.
Okay.
Does he have an Apple computer?
He does.
Could we use the Find My iPhone feature on that computer?
Oh.
Track him down.
Goo.
Wow.
Or an iPad. iPad would also work.
Okay. Yes. Yes, you can. So you turn on the computer, it's not password protected, and you go to the Find My iPhone app.
So we've all been let in at this point. Lock the door, and Dylan's doing this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, let Dylan touch everything with his fingers.
Yeah, his fingerprints skip.
The three of us are all wearing gloves. We're like, you're good, Dylan. You're good.
Dylan is opening his refrigerator. He's
Yeah,
like,
Dylan, could you get me a Pepsi while you're
You click on it, and a map screen comes up. And there's a little blip deep out in Flushing, Queens.
Oh, shit.
What?
At a location that says Somerset Grove Industrial Park.
Oh, what?
And just as that comes up, the computer just does that, and then all of you feel like in your pockets, and you look at your phones,
Oh, no.
and they're all black.
Oh, no.
God.
and we'll see you next week.
How is that possible?
How are we gonna order food?
Another round of lobsters. Can we just send it to Scott's place?
Oh my God, amazing.